Listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
Let's just have a conversation.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. It's Thursday night, the best night on YouTube for the best show on YouTube. Get those likes up in the chat right now. It is the best show, Lapeef Let's Talk. Once again, I am your host, Trigger Mike. In the building, we got the real precious Lady Di, Mr. Let Go, Caro, Sean Antonio, and Lady Chan. We got the others joining us in just a bit, so stay tuned for that. Once again, I am your host, Trigger Mike, of the Trigger Mike Show early in the morning, or sometimes early. We usually go around noon now, but appreciate everybody for coming through. Get those likes up, y'all. Get those likes up. Y'all can tell I just ran here, right? I lost track of the timer. I was in the bathroom like oh, snap.
Me too.
I don't hear the music no more. I don't hear the music no more. But how y'all doing this evening, man?
Yeah, I heard something. You was knocking shit over or something.
I heard somebody breathing hard earlier.
That's why I was laughing.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. His Jim talking about Trigger Mike with the hot, heavy breaths. I can't even hide it. I know I'm breathing hard. That was funny. That was funny. I had no idea the timer went off. I thought it'd at least be on the Teej commercial. That thing was on the music. I was like, oh, this
the intro. Yeah.
Let me get my ass over here real quick. But shout out to the sponsor, Hanley. The link is in the description. 30% off plus a free gift. Appreciate everybody. Like and subscribe if you have not joined the channel for perks. If you want to support, we always love the support on the show. And if you would like to support the show and the network, you can do so in form of super chat. Those will be read aloud. I will read every single super chat that you send tonight. We love all the support you show to the Lapeef Network in that form. And if you're watching this later and you like anything any of the panelists say, you can also send a super thanks, and we appreciate that type of support as well. So how y'all doing this evening? Anybody got any current events, any updates? What y'all working on? Talk to me.
Amazing. I have to renew my passport.
No, that's not fun. Where you going? Where you going?
I'm going to Jamaica and Paris this year for sure.
Jamaica and Paris. I don't know. I heard Jamaica. When a woman says Jamaica, you don't got a man, do you?
No, I don't have a boyfriend.
All right.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna get in your business. All I know is that I saw booties getting rubbed on a boat.
Oh no, I'm not doing the limestone thing. I don't like people touching me.
No man, no.
And they always say what they ain't gonna do when they go to Jamaica.
What are you trying to say?
Made a lot of
I'm not a liar.
No, you just, I think women altogether are liars. They're gonna be like, well, I don't usually do this, and they be lying. It'd be little subtle lies. It's okay.
Oh, snap. Y'all wild.
Whatever.
He already starting off strong.
Lady
But
Chan, what's
you ain't
going
never
on?
told a man, I don't usually do
I
this.
don't even get massages because I don't like strangers touching me. I don't go to masseuse for that specific reason because I don't like strangers touching me. So I
Okay.
won't get a lime rubbed down on the boat rafting that they be doing.
Understood. What y'all going on? Who? Everybody got their NFL draft pick ready? Because I know Texans, we got ours. So
Seattle Seahawks.
The Rams don't pick until tomorrow, so I don't care nothing about it today.
Oh, damn. Anyway, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, we got Mr. Let Go in the building. Got a special announcement if you want to go ahead and do that.
Yes, my new card game, Deeper Discussions, is out today. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love. I love y'all. This is what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, my card game is out, and everybody for tonight only gets a discount code. All you have to do is type in Lapeef 15 and get 15% off of your purchase.
Yes, sir.
And you got the link, right? You'll drop it in the link, drop it in the chat.
Can we just get one free? The people that's on the panel.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No.
The lady got to want one free.
I'm doing that black shit where we want.
If you ain't got no $25, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
Okay,
no, we're gonna definitely support. Hey, y'all make sure, you know what? In fact, I actually love card games. We only get around to doing them like around Christmas and stuff, but I got to do them more than that. So that seems like it's gonna be a deep one, a dope one to have around. Let me ask you this: I love pissing my sisters-in-law off with hard questions about relationships. Does it have any in there?
Yes, you already know if I made a card game, it's going to be some real deep, intrusive questions. It's not just going to be what's your favorite color.
No, it's going to be all of the cards that you pull are going to say, are women children?
Children, correct.
Yeah. Oh man.
Women are big babies.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all support Mr. Let Go. That is dope. I'm gonna just be honest. That is dope. A card game that somebody made. I'm copping off rip. Don't even worry about it, bro. I got you. Y'all make sure y'all go cop Deeper Discussions. I mean, that's gonna be dope. And then we're gonna even talk about it on the show. We should even play around when we get a chance, but we might do that a little later.
Oh no, do not ask questions on the show.
We should have a test round. Why not?
To women.
I said we should have a test round. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's coming up. We got a icebreaker topic where we're gonna get into it. I think we got 2 questions?
Yeah, we got 2 questions. So JR wants me to explain the significance of the card game. He's in the chat. So I'm gonna say most card games are just surface level questions. This particular card game is meant to help you vet the person you're dating or vet the person that you're with. Because in a lot of cases, you dating somebody for like 6 months or whatever, that other shoe probably ain't dropped yet. And y'all been together for a while. You starting to think this person is the one, y'all about to move in together. And there's some family issues or there's some issues in the background that you ain't seen yet. And this card game most likely is going to get it all out. So this is meant to help you vet the person that you're with or the person that you're dating to see if they are the one.
So what I just heard was this game will either help you get married or help you expedite your divorce. That's what I heard.
Yes. Okay. Because we gotta get these people out of here who ain't right for us. You feel me? We spending way too much time with the wrong person. This card game is going to get you either out of a bad relationship or closer to a person you already are with.
You know why I like that though, Let Go? You know why I like that? Is because I think that is exactly what's missing in the dating game because sex replaced having the deep conversation.
Right.
Every relationship goes up to the point of the sex, and then nobody wants to ask any deeper questions because you just want to keep doing that. That's it. So now,
other than what's your zodiac sign or some crap like that, you don't even know nothing about this other person.
There's a question that if at any point in the show that like a little mini topic that I would just like to ask, just a question that I think is important to ask.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get it in there. We're going to have a portion where we talk about the game. And you
can
slide that in there. Absolutely. No doubt.
All right. Thanks.
All right, let's get this
cool.
icebreaker going. Let's get this icebreaker going. What is our first topic of the night? Our first topic of the night is, how do you know you're right? I have a video for y'all. Stay tuned and we're going to chop it up.
If what you know is right or wrong. What happens if you believe something that's not true? How do you figure that out?
I talk to people.
Nope, that's not good enough. That's not good enough because you could talk to people that reaffirm whatever you believe.
You never really know, I guess. No.
So that's your world. That's what you're selling to people. You can't know if you're right. You have no idea. With concrete example then. When it comes to wearing masks, how do you know if that's a good idea or not?
Because if people more powerful than me are telling me to do it, I instantly don't believe them.
Do you understand that just makes you a sheep of the other herd, right? If there is a shepherd and he says all the sheep go left, you can either choose your own path or you can go right because he told you to go left. You understand? You're being just as controlled, right?
So who's controlling me?
The people that you don't like. I hear you say a lot of I know where a lot of it comes from because I've heard it from other areas of the internet. I always hear these same types of things. I don't want to be a sheep. I'm woke up to the truth. I figured out reality. But the reality is that you went from a sheep from herd A and now you're just a sheep in herd B. So the correct answer was, I decide whether or not to wear a mask based on the data I've read, the studies I've gone over, the articles I've read. That's the right answer. I've seen enough information to point me one way or another. Everything else that you're saying is a cope.
Facts.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I
Let's
thought.
chop it up.
initially.
We'll start with you, Precious. What do you got? How do you know you're right?
There is a scripture that says, study to show yourself approved. So between doing that and if you are a believer, praying, meditating, you don't just listen to something once and just, or say something or have information and just say, oh, it's right. You have to research, you have to do your own research. And a lot of things are not as simple as, is it right or wrong? Some things you do have to sit with, some things you do have to meditate on to see if it's right. So it takes more than he said, she said.
All right. Lady Di.
Yeah. Everything I agree with what Precious said, except the meditating on part. Because there's people that would meditate on something for a whole night, wake up and be like, yep, that's the answer. And you be dead ass wrong. Like, let's not lean on that. We got to lean on facts for sure. And then, of course, experience. Experience can also be somewhat of a fact. Like if you've been through something more than enough because you keep doing the same wrong thing over and over, then probability is also, a way you could look at it. But yeah, you definitely got to show yourself approved and make sure when you are speaking, you're not just talking just to hear yourself or talking just to be heard. You're talking to help. And if you don't have the information, it's okay. You don't have to have an answer for everybody. You could simply say, I don't know. I could look it up for you. Or I don't know. Let me go, get somebody to help you. We don't always have to be like, oh, I know. And then, get a pat on your back, but then you just mess that person's life up. So you got to be careful what you're saying and what you're trying to preach to people. If you're good at a skill, then, I would advise people to just to preach what you're good at and let everybody be good at something. And then it's a big puzzle. We put it together. We don't have to be good at everything. If you found your niche, go with that. So that's my take.
All right. Let's get you in there.
Any person that thinks they're right, they're the problem. I don't really care none about being right. Never cared. I have a whole coaching group and I tell them that I know nothing. I'm just good at articulating what I read and what I've heard from somebody else. So if anybody's right, it's them, not me. I don't care about being right because at the end of the day, you run around saying that you're right. A lot of times you are right, but a lot of times somebody else can be right at the same time because there's not one answer to everything. Like 2 + 2 = 4 and 5 + 1 = 6, but 3 + 3 = 6 also. So there's other ways to be right. So the person that runs around thinking that they're right or proud that they're right, that person has some real underlying issues. They got an ego problem or a self-worth problem. Because with me, I don't give a damn about being right because me being smart or smarter than somebody else is something that happens over here, but it doesn't happen over there because it depends on who I'm in front of. So the more you start thinking that you're right, you're going to find yourself looking stupid, because over here, somebody else can actually have a better answer and also be right and make you look stupid. So I think being right or wanting to be right is the easy way to tell that that person most likely is trash or has some issues or is egotistical or is a narcissist or some bad. So I don't believe in being right.
All right. Lady Chan, let's get your piece on this, please.
He said about being sheep A or in the herd sheep B. There's nothing wrong with being in a herd if that's what you believe, that you belong to a specific herd. There's nothing wrong with that. Myself, you got. It depends on who you're getting the advice or the statement from. If someone's an expert in their field, a qualified expert in their field, I'm obviously more prone to listen to what they say because they're an expert. But I know what I know, so I talk on what I know. If I don't know something, it's not embarrassing. I like to seek the truth, so I'll just ask the question, because if you don't know something, then you can't entertain conversations. And my mum always says, don't go by your looks, go by what's in your brain, because you need to be able to be versatile enough to be put in any room and be able to stand up and know what's going on and what's being spoken about. So if I don't know something, I'll just fall back and I'll ask the question to know. So I know what I know and I don't know what I don't know. That's it.
All right. My man, Sean Antonio, what you got for me?
What's good, bro? In terms of being right, for me, I really do work hard to not talk about things I don't know about. I don't just say shit because everybody on the internet says things. I'm not going to say it just because I'm trying to impress somebody. When I feel strongest about being right, it's when I have experience in it, or I have data that can prove what I'm talking about, or I've done research that makes me confident that I'm pretty much close to right. But yeah, like Mr. Lego said, man, nobody is always right. Some people are assholes and they just feel like they're always right. And I also agree that more than one thing can be true. But yeah, for me, man, I like to feel confident. I like to do research, like exhaustive research, and that helps me to feel like I'm right. And most of the time when I'm arguing with a woman, I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
I think it's bad to admit, but most men feel like that. But even in the event, you're still wrong. You're trying to be right, you're still wrong. But that math don't math, but you know what I mean. Carol, please grace us with your answer.
Okay. I feel like I'm right when it's for me. Meaning, like, when I think of a concept or an idea of what I think is correct for me, I am doing the due diligence. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to phone an expert. I'm going to talk to somebody older, somebody younger, however it applies to the topic. I feel like when people feel like they're right, they're trying to impose and influence other people. So if I'm going to argue that I'm right to you guys on the panel, I have to have supporting details for you guys to believe me. So I'm trying to sway you and persuade you, influence you. So I don't necessarily do that. I like people to reach their decision on their own. So if I gave advice or a scenario that I think is correct in my eyes, in my experience, I would say this is like this because what I've experienced. But what do you think about it? So you have to just do your research and think about it cognitively, logically, and come to your own conclusion. I don't like influencing people's decision. I literally give advice, but I don't tell people what to do. I'll just be like, I would do this because A, B, and C. Supporting details. That's about it.
All right. That was dope. Everybody gave solid responses. So even I feel like that's one to unpack, but I want to go a little deeper because everybody, like somebody said it, everybody does think they're right, especially when you're arguing, with double X chromosome humans. That's what I like calling y'all now. Okay. So everybody thinks they're right, but why is it important to admit when you're wrong? Anybody can jump in.
Oh man. I think I think a person who can't admit when they're wrong, I just think you just totally are a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? Male or female. I think your credibility is shot. Mm-hmm. And I just generally don't want to converse with you on no level. Mm-hmm. That shit gets annoying, especially when you're in a relationship. Man, it's just like it's hard to communicate with that person. You know what I'm saying?
they're not willing to grow. That means they're just stunted. They're narrow-minded, and there's no point wasting your time with those types of people, especially when it's proven that they're wrong and they still just want to be strong and strong. I have no time for people like that.
So I have a question. So like, if we talking about relationships, are they wrong because of an opinion? Like you feel strongly about something and you're like, hey, that's not right. And then they just don't understand why it's not right. So then how do you know who's right and wrong in a relationship?
You have to present the facts. You got to present some kind of data to.
But there are no facts.
I was asking Sean.
Wait,
can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
If you're in a relationship and you know you're saying that the person, so your girlfriend, that she's wrong about something, but then you're saying she's wrong because you have a strong opinion about something, how can you prove that she's wrong instead of just saying, hey, I don't want to deal with you because she just doesn't get what's going on?
Yeah, I wouldn't just I think every situation is different, of course. So I wouldn't just assume just because I have a strong opinion about something that she's wrong. But sometimes we know that sometimes people are just fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? They literally know nothing about what they're talking about, and they're just being contrarians. And I mean, I keep everything real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when we have arguments, we get so dug into our point. And once you say certain things to me, or once I'm in a certain mode, I really don't give a shit what you saying. You're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll come back later and be like, you know what? I was bugging. You know what I'm saying? That actually made sense. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is part of being honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? And being fair. Coming back once I realize, even if I realize I was wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'll come back and be like, you know what? You were right about XYZ. But I realize, I'm going to be honest with y'all, a lot of women don't do that. They will not do that. They'll say, well, it could have been true at some times. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. In my personal experience, I'm not saying most women. I'm just saying in my personal experience.
Do y'all realize that women have a secret way of being right that men don't know? They add their feelings in it, because when a person feels something, they're always right because that's how they feel. You can't invalidate a person's feelings. So that's why women spend so much time saying, well, I just feel like this and I just feel like that, because that actually automatically makes them right and also makes them narcissists. So when you just are talking to a woman and if they start throwing out, well, I just feel like this, or they bring their feelings in to a point, that means they're trying to be right by default, because if you turn around and argue back with her point after her saying she feels like something, the first thing she's going to accuse you of is you just invalidated my feelings and now you automatically wrong. So
well, I think that's what it is.
Huh?
I don't necessarily think it's the words. I think it's how the words are handled. It's the actions, it's the nonverbals that you're picking up on that are not necessarily right. And in the conversation, the words that either one of you are saying could be right. All of those words could be right, but it's the way that you're handling the words. It's the emotion behind the words. It's what you fail to do after the words. So I think it's the practice of actually communicating. I don't think it's necessarily sometimes a communication. Now, sometimes you just could straight up be wrong, but you only know someone is wrong if you could prove it with a fact. If you don't like the way that someone is talking or handling the conversation and you think that they're wrong for that, then you're feeling like they're wrong. So you address it. How can we handle this in a better fashion moving forward? So a lot of times I think it's the actions with the words.
And in some situations, both people can be right and both people can be wrong. Like both people can have a valid point, but they handle, just like what you just said, they handled it wrong and they're not listening to the other person, which makes both of them wrong all at the same time, because they're both trying to battle and go at, like talk about their point versus listen to the other person's point. So both people can have a point, but if they don't listen to each other's point, now they're wrong to each other for not listening to the other person's point.
Wait, let me just add a point of clarity to what both of y'all just said. No, somebody can be completely fucking wrong. Don't matter how you handle it, how you communicate. Nothing. You can be completely fucking wrong. Don't matter how you handle it. I'm just making sure that we just clear on it. You can be fucking wrong.
Okay, well,
hey, what's going on, everybody?
It don't matter all that follow-up shit. That don't matter. Wrong is wrong.
Let's do a role play real quick. What
Okay.
what would be wrong for you? Like if I just came in the house and was like, "Why you got your shoes all over the place?" That's wrong, right?
Yeah, you wrong for thinking you my
Yes,
mama.
that's
Yeah, you're not my
wrong.
mama. Absolutely. You're not my mother.
Right.
Right.
So that
But what I'm
means you're
saying is that
wrong.
But the
That
shoes
means
are all
both people are wrong. He's wrong for
That's
having his shoes
wrong.
all over the house, but
Yeah.
you're wrong for how you handling it.
No.
Can I
No.
interject this? Can I interject this point? Hey, how's
Oh,
everybody
man.
doing?
All
Hey,
right.
listen. So Mr. Let Go. When you say that, okay, so a woman, the way that she wins an argument and the way that she's right is when she interjects her feeling and she says, "Well, you're dismissing my feelings." I think that that's totally inaccurate, right? Because at the end of the day, we all know that feelings are one of the most deceptive things that anybody ever could have, right? Your feelings and your emotions, right? So when a woman is talking about when a woman is talking about her feelings or how she feels in the argument.
So you're trying to be right in this situation. Think about what you're just doing.
Well,
you just
can I finish my point first?
That is wrong. So
But
you're
before
literally proving my point. But go ahead.
Before you
just proved
interject,
my point.
No, I didn't. But before you interject, can I finish my point so you can understand what I'm saying? So basically, the point being is that if you don't have to succumb to that, or that doesn't make you wrong in an argument. If you are stating your point and you're stating your case with your lady and she's emotional, you don't have to concede to her emotion in order for her to be right. You don't have to succumb to her emotional whims. Like that's not necessary.
That wasn't my
that
point.
doesn't mean that but you're saying that she wins the argument, right? What you exactly said was
no. I said
she wins the argument by interjecting her feelings into it.
It is an attempt. A lot of women would attempt to prove their point or plead their case by wrapping it around in their feelings. And when they feel a certain kind of way, that is how they feel, which means they are right in how they feel. So they are right. But at the end of the day, you can see things differently, but they are still right in how they feel. And when you go against how they feel, you are indeed invalidating their feelings, because in a lot of cases, an argument is simply two people talking at the same time. So if you give that woman the floor and you hear how she feels about something, whether it's right or wrong to you, it's her. Because the thing about it is, it's about perception. She can see something totally different than you. So just because you're a man and she's a woman, that doesn't make you right. And just because she's in her feelings and she's emotional doesn't make her wrong. Her reality has to be seen for what it is. Does that make sense?
Some people think they fucking unicorns. That don't mean just because they feel that way, they're right.
So there's four ladies
I have
on
a
the
rebuttal.
panel.
I have a rebuttal for this.
One lady say something.
Who, lady?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you were to flip that as in vice versa for a man could feel like he's right in his authority. Some men will put their authority on you and say, no, it should be like this because X, Y, Z, and they would think they're right because they strongly believe it. And you're just supposed to go with it because they're right and have no supporting details. Just like you can't go with the woman's feelings. She could be right in her feelings and still be in her feelings and be right, and she could be in her feelings to be wrong. A man can be in his feelings with authority and be right, and be in his feelings with authority. I mean, in his authority and be wrong. Say that again. We're not using what?
We're not going to steer you in a wrong direction because we feel a certain kind of way.
Why you say that? Anybody could be right. Any human could be right. So if a man is giving his authority and saying, no, it should be like this, and you would say, oh, he's being right in his authority, just like the woman feels like she's right in her feelings or wrong in her feelings, and he's wrong in his authority. It's the same thing. You get what I'm saying? There is no difference. It's the same thing. We go off our feelings. You guys have authority.
I'm letting you know that there is a difference between, because one is emotional and the other one is usually
emotion. I could be emotional and be absolutely right. Meaning, like, you could have triggered me and hurt my feelings, and I had grounds, and I'm trying to articulate myself about why I feel like I'm right, but I'm in my feelings about it. Where you could be so upset or mad or feel like you're right about this, and you're in your authority, you come across very strong and overly aggressive. but you're right, but I can't receive it because of that pressure and that authority that you're putting on me. Just like you can't receive it because of the feelings that I'm putting into it.
Listen, this is the only thing I'm saying is usually when a man, you said the word authority, when he puts his foot down about something in particular and expresses his authority, it's usually rule oriented. It's not off emotion. He could be mad because you're not listening.
True. That's a false statement.
Can I finish? Can I listen?
That's
can I finish? I don't know what type of dudes you use to messing with, but
don't bring it personal. Just stick on the topic.
Can you let me finish? Usually when a man says, yo, I need you to stop, I need you to sit down, we're going this way instead of that way, there's a logical reason why we're going this way and you gonna go this way or we gonna have a problem. I don't give a damn what you think. At the end of the day, we going this way and you gonna shut up. We'll do it all
you're gonna trust
later.
him. You're gonna trust your man, but if he's absolutely
y'all
wrong,
stop for a second.
He's wrong.
All I'm saying is when a man expresses his authority, you do it. And we'll deal with the rest of it later on. You get mad at me later on, but you better goddamn do it. Because that's not emotion.
That's about respect. That's a whole different thing. We're talking about you being wrong and being in your nature, which is authority figure. So you might be absolutely wrong in your authority, but I'm going to listen to you because you're my man. But
authority
I feel like you're wrong.
Rule oriented.
Not
because
true.
If I lead you
you're
in
a
the wrong
man, you're
direction,
stronger,
you
you're bigger.
You Tara, you got to trust your man. If he's saying like, "Yo, we got to go left,"
we going.
He's not going. He's not going with his He's not going with his feelings. Men are going with their logic. So, like, if that's your man, you're with him because you obviously respect him and you trust him. If he's going left,
and you're with the woman too because you respect her and she's
no, we don't listen about women. No. If I say we going this way, I don't give a shit if I'm wrong or right. You let me be wrong, and we'll deal with it later.
So, do men listen to their women at any point? Go ahead, Shan.
Behind closed doors.
Listen to Shan.
If he says to go left, just go left. And if there's a problem that you feel
He'll
that
fix it.
You'll fix it at home.
But I'm responsible for both of us. So even if I'm wrong, you supposed to go.
Talking, and you told me listen, and she was talking. And
go ahead, Lady Shan. Finish your thought.
You interrupted it.
Like basically, you do have to listen because he's your man. He's not going to say anything that's going to be detrimental to your safety and his safety. So if he's saying go left, just because we don't get it, just because we can't work out a fucking an algebraic equation, doesn't mean that there isn't a definitive answer. Just because we don't know how to get there, he may know how to get there. Let's just go there, and we'll talk about feelings later on behind closed doors. But when
100% agree with you.
It's a united front, and that's the end of it.
I 100% agree with you, but I was more like talking about Mr. Let Go saying how women were in the feelings, but Lady was going to say something too. I wanted to hear what she said.
I was going to say, like, and this is why some ladies or people in general are single, because, you know, we get in a relationship and we feel we always got to challenge somebody. So if you accept your man to be your leader, because that's what he is, naturally, he's going to be your leader regardless because he's a man. Mm-hmm. You have to accept and do what it is that he's saying, and don't think about, well, damn, if we go this way, this will be better. You are already going against him. You don't get with somebody to go against them. You got with them because you trust them. So if he says, not saying you can't have your own thought and feeling. It's not for every situation. I'm just saying certain situations, you just got to let it go, let it flow. Go with the flow, and then you'll see, okay, well, this is why he said this way. Cool. You don't even have to have a conversation about it. Even if it did go wrong, let it go wrong. Trial and error. Some guys like to have trial and error because they want to be able to fix things in the future, right? So you got to let a man be a man and stop always trying to challenge them. So I was going to ask Toxic Avengers.
Israel. You call me Israel. What's going on?
Okay, so I like that. So
thanks.
Do you like, and if you're in a relationship with the lady and she's in her emotions, her feelings, and she's expressing, and you could tell in her face how she's talking, how do you handle that?
That's a good question. So for me, if a woman, if I'm with my lady and she's in her feelings, I let her talk. I let her express her feelings, say how she feels. I listen to her and let her get it out. Because a lot of times women just want to be heard. Women just want to be heard, and they want to feel like what they're saying is important. So I listen to them. I let her express her point. I let her get it all out. And then at the end of the day, I repeat back to her what she said to me in her words and say, was this what you were saying? And she's usually like, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. And y'all got to add those little couple of extras and la, 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 la. And okay. So you were saying this? Yeah. I said, you good? Yeah, I'm good. All right. So then depending on what it is, and a lot of men will tell you this if we're being honest. A lot of things men don't have a strong feeling about. There's a lot of things that go on that we really could care less one way or another, right? And so on those things, those are the things that are the ways that we can allow things to go either way. And it's okay, right? But then there's certain times where a man has a strong feeling about something. And when he has that strong feeling about something, he's like, look, this is the way that it has to be. And that's the time that Mr. Let Go is talking about. If we say go left, y'all need to come with us and go left. Like you were saying, if you say go right, come with us and go right. So that's how I handle it. I let my lady talk. I let her express how she feels. I repeat what she said back to her to make sure I heard exactly what she's saying. Once when she's finished talking, she feels comfortable, and the situation is good after that.
So what he just pretty much did was acknowledge her.
Right. That's good. That's good.
No, that's very important. I think men automatically know that we're emotional because we were just built that way. So everybody knows that we're that way. However, when you don't acknowledge those feelings, and they just going to continue to be raging or simmering in the pot. So once you like you said, once you acknowledge it, it's like, all right, we can move on, because she could have just needed you to acknowledge her feelings. She might have needed that from you and nobody else.
Gee, I'm gonna keep it a bean though. That shit gets exhausting. I'm not real talk. That's to me. That's real shit. Real shit like that,
bro.
Like real talk. Like I'm just saying. Like I'm not about to be led around by your feelings. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And that's your job, bro. That's not my job. You can do that. I'm answering for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do.
Sean, check it out. Sean, that's not being led by a woman's feelings, right? Because at the end of the day, for you to listen to her doesn't cost you anything, right? You just listen to her, you hear her out, then you give her back her own words that she's saying to just let her know that you were listening. Yeah. That doesn't cost you a thing. And like I used to tell, my son's mother all the time, hey, listen, just because I'm hearing you out doesn't mean I'm gonna go with exactly what you're saying, but I do want to hear you out. I do want to hear where you're coming from. What you're saying is important to me. Go ahead and get it out. Let me hear what you're saying. Let me repeat it back to you. So it doesn't cost us anything. It doesn't mean that we have to get tied into whatever she's feeling or whatever she's saying. We don't have to.
Right. Hold on. I wouldn't. I'm my bad, bro.
Go ahead. If you got something.
Nah, so look, I totally agree, right? Up to a certain point. But I think I don't even know how to explain it, right? There are certain times when it's just like it's a chore dealing with somebody. It's always, I feel like this. It's always like, you know what I'm saying? Some shit that's just like you have to maintain something and continue to validate something, and it becomes a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just like some toxic weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, what you're talking about is healthy, but I think you get to a certain point when it becomes a red flag and it's not something I want to do.
So let me add this to it. Let me add this to it, because I'm kind of on Sean Antonio's side, because, culturally, like, the women aren't supposed to talk their men head off in my culture. But, being that I was raised here, I learned that that's something women do here. So I had to adjust and adapt to it. But the one thing I will say, you have to measure how your relationship is maturing by the way your woman adheres to what you're saying. If she comes to me, especially in the beginning of the relationship or marriage, and she has these issues and I'm listening, and then the times that I do impart wisdom on her, if she does not take that seriously, we should not be having this same discussion, even if it involves different people, over and over and over again. I'm at the part now where I can see some of the knowledge and the logic that I give. My wife will develop answers, like she'll start saying it, and then I'll kind of look up like, we talked about this shit last month. And she'll be like, you know what? I already know. Because I will not feel those same questions over and over. Like, you literally are talking my head off. I got 1,000,001 things to do. I work in the day. I grade papers for my students at night. I got Lapeef Let's Talk. Like, what are we talking about? If it's not something new that I can solve, and then we go on to a next problem. But
can I interject this, Trigger Mike, real quick, just real fast? Yo, so at the end of the day, right? And this may not be popular. So let me just say that this may not be popular right here. So sometimes women just need, and this is not simping, this is just keeping it a buck. Sometimes women just need you to listen. They're not always, a lot of times when women are communicating, they're not always looking for a solution. And sometimes when we offer the solution, that's when we get the most resentment and the most pushback, and you get the most things back, right? So I agree with you, Trigger Mike. See, first of all, your woman should have friends, right? Like, and I think you said this before too, Trigger Mike. She should have homegirls, friends, trusted friends that she can go to and she can talk to and she can unload with them, right? So when she's coming to you, it's for the thing that you can provide her, and it's not always through telling her what to do, right? Sometimes she has the answers. She just wants to be heard, right? And it's okay for those times. And again, this is not all the time. This is not 24 or more. This is sometimes. You just hear her out. You let her talk. You tell her that you heard her. Do reassurance, and then that's good, right? And then throughout your relationship, as she's watching you, how you prostrate as a man, as she's watching how you handle your business, as she's watching you, how you interact with other people, as she's watching how you show up in the world, she starts to conform herself or to mold herself into the man that you are, like, and starts to shape herself into what she knows you go for, what she knows you won't go for. Sometimes less is more, fellas. Like, sometimes we just overload the situation and we go too hard, and it's not always necessary. If we fall back a lot of times you'll be surprised that your girl will tell you shit and you be like, damn, girl, like you like, oh. And those are the times when you really get to feel good, because you're like, yo, she was listening. Yo, she was paying attention. Yo, she really digging what I'm putting down. You see what I'm saying? So that's a little thing I'll just
let me add something to what Sean said, because this could be helpful, because I see a little frustration in your face, like the memory of the last time it happened. As long as you do one or two things: one, compartmentalize the problems, and two, get an understanding of where you are as a man or who you are as a man. So just like Israel said, she's going to start conforming to who you are and how you operate, right? So if she keeps mouthing off about things, that means you may not be doing something in a way where she feels comfortable or safe in one of these compartments, right? So one compartment could be with the kids. Another compartment could be with money. Another compartment could be with household stuff, dropping your shoes or the toilet, the bathroom, or, throwing your clothes around. And another compartment could be time, right? So once you compartmentalize all of these issues that your woman may have, now you're like, okay, so say she says, you don't seem to care anything about spending time with me. Now this is a time compartment, right? Now you ain't like, yo, man, why you keep bitching? Well, she's bitching about one particular thing. Now if she complains about the clothes and you not putting stuff up, that's in another compartment. Now, later on, now that y'all had these conversations, right? Later on, if she says something about the clothes or says something about the time, now you can do what Trigger Mike said, like, all right, we already talked about this particular thing. You said this and I said this. So why are we talking about this one thing again? Because one thing you don't want to do is make your woman feel like she can't open up and say something. Because if you keep shutting her down, she's going to shut down altogether. But if you say, you brought this up pertaining to this area of our lives before, let's work on this area of our lives, but anything else is still up for debate. We can conversate or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you teach your woman compartmentalization, now when she has a problem, one, she's open to bringing it up to you. And two, she'll think like, damn, did we talk about this before pertaining to this one thing over here? And then she can actually deal with her own issue sometime.
Bro, I'm sorry. Look, so what both of y'all just said, right? I don't disagree with a lot with everything y'all just said. But the problem is that there's an assumption that she will conform and that she will learn and that she will. Nah, bro. Sometimes they just a fucking problem.
She's a trash woman if she ain't gonna conform.
But I'm just saying, like, that shit sounds like pie in the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was
All right. The guy you wanted to respond before, then we get Coach K in here looking like a British pop singer. All right.
Yeah. Real
Bye,
quick.
bye, bye.
I haven't heard that one yet. I've heard.
It's the mic. It's the mic.
It's the mic.
It's the mic for me. Yeah.
So I can move all around.
Y'all said a lot. So, like, with the friends situation, I don't really agree. If you're married, I don't really agree with always conversing with your homegirls and expressing all of these feelings to them. Because to me, you should be able to talk about it with your husband and you guys figure it out. Because if you start talking to your friends, they're going to give you advice that might not be good for you. So I don't think that's a safe approach. I think that you hang out with your homegirls and y'all have fun and y'all do, girl things, and relationships should just stick between you and your man.
But can I qualify that? What I mean by that is your homegirls are to like talk about the girly, like your man should be your man. Your man should not be your best friend, as everybody keeps saying. Your man should not be the one that husband, let's talk about shopping and we don't want to hear that shit. I mean, that's the shit that we don't want to talk about. We don't care. We don't really know nothing about it anyway. It doesn't matter. That's what I mean. Talk to your homegirls about that.
You need your homegirls in order so you can vent. Not just say it just because what they say back to you is what you're going to run off and do. But you need to be able to vent with your peers.
And I mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to add some clarity.
Let's get Coach K in there.
Well, I don't think she was finished. I just cut her off. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, my bad. Shane,
no, it's okay. So
my bad. I didn't know you.
My fault, y'all.
No, it's okay. And then when it comes to like the feelings, I understand that we as women, we're gonna have emotions and feelings, and we're gonna want to let them out. But honestly, when I learned how to be more logical, I think that the feelings things is dangerous because it's gonna put you in a manic state of mind. And no, you forget the man. You yourself as a lady shouldn't be even dealing with that. Because that's where depression comes in, anxiety. All of these things are going to come and cover you. And then a man is going to be like, I don't know what to do with that. Why? Because they don't even understand what's going on. So I think that we as ladies definitely got to get that in check. And you could learn from your man because most men are just more logical anyway. So you express your feelings, do, I guess what Israel is saying, listen to it. You could help her like, hey, you don't got to be this way. Let's calm down and, get her to a right state of mind. That's all I want to say.
All right, Coach K. Get you in there.
So that was perfect what Lady Di just said, because that's all I was going to add basically to what Sean was saying is sometimes women just need to know how to let things go. Things that are problems aren't actually problems when you're being logical. You don't have to share all of your feelings with your man when it was just simply a misunderstanding. You don't need to rehash it, especially when we got things to do, and that takes up a lot of energy. You're going to be much more peaceful and a lot more pleasant to be around. Just let it go. That's all I wanted to add.
That's what I'm talking about. So let me say something on that.
Oh yeah.
LIG, because what we talk about, we enable our women a little too much. We enable them. And there is a such thing called transference. When a woman wants to talk about too much of her feelings, you don't even realize that you just fucked your man's day up. He's going through some stuff he needs to process. And now this irrelevant thing that you keep bringing up that's usually petty. I do not give a fuck about Bob not saying something about the bonuses. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? And let me say something a little deeper on it. I think women of today are dealing with an inner turmoil that they don't know how to process correctly. All right. And talking is not always the answer. Your man is not your homegirl. Do you see how we replaced praying with the word venting? As soon as you took God out of the picture, everybody wants to create a way for a woman to express her feelings. Why don't you go to God with it? Why don't you get on your knees and pray or meditate? You see, this is what women used to do in silence, and the most peaceful women on earth still do it today. Do you not see that? Not talking is the answer.
Let me add to that. A woman is our woman is our responsibility. So I don't want to be no woman's best friend or none of that shit. But at the end of the day, whatever you're going through is my responsibility. Period. So my job is to regulate my woman's emotions. So if she's irate, upset about something, I believe in making sure that I'm not the first victim. So if she's doing something or acting up or whatever, but I got something to say about what she's doing first, also, you know, I got a problem and she got a problem. My job is to listen to her problem first, because I don't need to be the first victim. Let her be the first victim, and we'll deal with all that. We'll deal with everything else later. So even if it's some homegirl stuff, because I talked about this before, if you got Sheila at work and she keep talking shit, it's your job to see what's going on with Sheila at work. You don't need to be all in the gossip shit, but you need to be like, so what is she actually doing? And if you realize that there's some dumb shit, now you need to assess that your woman may just be an idiot. You feel me? But if you keep, sometimes you don't realize your woman is a blithering idiot, but you need to find out all of these attributes or these parts of her life. How is she handling conflict? How is she handling conflict with her mama, with her coworkers? If she cannot handle conflict within her own life, you may be with the wrong woman. So it's important for you to be all in her business about Sheila at work, about her mama, about her sister, about her cousin, or her kids, all this shit. When I'm dating a woman, let me tell you something, when I'm dating a woman and she got a kid, I need to know what the hell she doing with her kid. I'm all in her business. Oh, so what y'all doing? What happened? What she do? What he do? What? Because I want to know how she parents. So I'm finna be all in the woman's business, no matter what it is. And it ain't me being her best friend. It's me, one, assessing what's going on with her to see how she's dealing with these conflicts. And two, I'm regulating her emotions so she won't fall off the deep end. Because
bro, I can't hear you say that.
Hell no,
bro. It's her job to regulate her fucking emotions. I'm not regulating her. Man, hell no. Regulate her own motherfucking emotions. I'm not regulating her emotions, bro.
Listen.
Israel done came over to the dark side. Okay.
Hold on. One last thing.
Yeah. I agree with that shit.
Let me just say this one last thing. If your lady keep going to her home girl for her advice, guess what? You ain't running your household no more, because she's going to run her homegirl. And guess what? What if her homegirl is the idiot? Now
then she can go be with her. Go live with her idiot ass.
But you don't know. You don't know until you get in her business. You ain't gonna know. Your job is to know every aspect of this woman's life, so you can know if she's the right one or not.
I'm gonna keep it a thou while, bro. I'm not.
I ain't got time for
helicopter parent. I ain't no helicopter husband or boyfriend. Look, you gonna act accordingly, or you ain't gonna act at all with me. It's plain and simple. I'm not no douchebag, no dickhead, no nothing. You regulate your emotions, just like what Coach K said.
Who got time for that? If you getting money, who got time for that? You getting money, who got time for that?
Being with Sean sounds like it's fucking hard work.
No. I'm dead serious. I'm no Shan.
Ladies,
it
sounds like Mr. Let Go got too much time on his hands. I ain't gonna lie. It sounds like Mr. Let Go got too much time on his hands. Who has time for this?
All right, one mic. Lady Tim,
if you get money, you actually got time. I want y'all to think about that. The niggas who get money actually got time.
We can't hear you.
Listen, you can't hear me.
Niggas who get money actually got time. The niggas who ain't getting money is the one who ain't got the time.
You know what MLG is saying? Because us as women, sometimes we vent about our friends to our man, like, oh, Sarah got on my nerves today, and he wants to know like the intel, so therefore he knows how. What if you know more? We
might need to get rid of Sarah.
Yeah, we might have to just offload.
What you gonna do about Sarah, Mr. Let Go?
We might need to get rid of Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah was a good friend for you. So
you got a point. He don't
got no damn point. That shit is whack.
I want to know what the hell Sarah is saying. Yeah. And if she's saying some dumb shit, we need to get rid of Sarah.
How you gonna get rid of Sarah?
We're not getting rid of Sarah, then you got to go with Sarah.
But Mr. Let Go might as well be in the office with him. I mean,
all right, let me have my friend. Look. Mr.
You
Let
gotta
Go,
run
bro.
a tight ship.
Bro, I'm not digging into.
I'm all in my woman's business.
If Coach K is my woman, bro, and these are her friends, I'm not monitoring what the fuck she's talking about with them. You monitor that shit. If you say or do something that's not in alignment with what I get down with or how I want it to be, I'm not fucking with you.
I didn't say monitor. I said.
I mean, you say you want to dig all this type of
She's
shit.
coming
I'm
to you
not
with
doing
it.
that goofy
That
shit.
sounds exhausting.
Why do you do that shit? I'm not doing none of that shit.
That shit to you, and you
That sounds exhausting.
I'm not doing none of that shit,
That's
bro.
micromanagement. That sounds exhausting.
Hey, it's get down and lay down over here. I don't
And
care
what
about that
happens
shit.
when you're not there?
You just want to tell Warren G, regulators, mount up.
So, but what happens when you're not with your wife? How is she supposed to regulate her emotions if you're not there? Now, of course, there's going to be times where
I got an answer for that, but go ahead. I got a great answer for that.
Okay. Well, actually, let me hear your answer and then let me respond.
No, we'll get that answer on the next show. He about to go another
Okay,
hour.
hold on. Make it snappy. The question is real quick. The woman is going to follow my mode of operation. So she tells me there's an issue. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about it, and then you go on about your business. The same thing I do, and I don't want to put women in my kids or whatever, but somewhat is the same thing. My kids know how to operate because, one, they see how I operate, and I teach them how to operate. So it's my system. So when you go out into this world, whether you're my woman at work or my kids out in the world, you already know how to operate because I'm going to literally give you a system on how to do every goddamn thing.
So they're self-regulating, but based on how you are behaving in a way. Okay, that makes sense.
Teach your woman a system.
Okay, but I would argue that you want to be with a woman who already knows how to regulate her emotions. Now, don't get me wrong. There are ways that my husband manages things that are so much better than the way I was doing it. However, I was still regulating my emotions. And then there's also times where, sorry, I was like reading that back chat. But there's also times where maybe she's really like, everything's going wrong, where she's at a time of weakness where she really needs to lean on you. That's different, of course. And I think that's when the man needs to come in and be her rock and be like, okay, hey, this is what's going on. It's okay, whatever it is. But oftentimes women they're just dramatic about shit. And it's like, you got to regulate yourself and not take up his time when there's much more, important matters at hand. You're two adults regulating yourself, but I understand you having a system. I do get that. So
and women are children.
That's why intimacy is important.
Yes, I agree.
Intimacy is important because you need to know when she's being dramatic versus when it's an emergency.
Right. But you ain't gonna know that if you ain't in her business to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Can I add this, Trigger Mike?
Y'all realize that is a part of intimacy. It's not just fucking. That's intimacy.
Wrap it up real quick. Israel,
that's sympathy, my nigga.
Real quick, yeah. I think that what you're proposing sounds extremely exhausting. It sounds real. It sounds real. General Hospital and Young and the Restless. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. Yeah, like I don't have time for that. Yo, the statement that you made about if you're getting money, you have a lot of time shows that no, men that get money understand that in order to keep getting money, you have to continue to produce and you have to put systems and things in place that allow you to continue to produce. Because it's one thing. Hold on, fam. It's one thing to get money. It's another thing to maintain and keep that money. So just because you arrive to a certain destination as far as monetary success is involved, that doesn't mean that you get to stay there. So the thing about it is you got to continue working. You got to continue working, continue building, continue building your empire up. So you don't have the time to waste worrying about the little nuances, the little details of your girls every day. Like that, to me, is exhausting.
Well, let me say this,
just
this
listening
is important.
to it.
You don't realize that your woman, we ain't just talking about some broad. We talking about your woman. She is a part of your system. She's a part of your money. She's a part of your life. And if you ain't paying attention to this part of your life, your business can actually have a problem.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. Tyrese. Let me give you an example. And I want to go down the rabbit hole.
One out, bro.
Hold on, I just want to say this. Tyrese actually was somewhere else acting, right? And for whatever reason, his wife called him and said, I don't want to do this no more. This nigga left and got sued for $400,000 because
What
he
do
left.
you want from me?
But the whole point about it is a possibility that if he was paying attention, that wouldn't have been like, hey, I'm out of here. Because who the hell gonna say I'm out of here while you out there making money? Apparently he wasn't listening to something. So the thing about it is you got to know what's going on so that won't affect your business.
So, all right. Mr. Let Go is the only man in history that thinks he can tame a woman's mercurial nature.
Right.
Hey, I've done it
$10. Great idea, Mr. Let Go. I am a part of a single group that is looking for new ideas. Victim Olympics, $2. The black woman is God. I love it when you call me Big Papa Smurf. I think this one's for you, Shan. Lady Chan, what you doing later? Me, I'm coming through. I'm gonna come through. Do you know this dude for real? For real?
No, no. It's a guy that trolls me. Does the same thing. Trolls me.
My man, John the Baptist, $5. God forbid, yeah. Let God be true, but every man a liar. Romans 3:4. Eat Man, $5. Men lead by example. If you want her to listen to you, you must listen to her. Israel is 100% right. Everything does not require a response. Victim Olympics, $2. Where the white man's at?
What the
fuck? Eat Man Williams, $2. You go with that men if he is your husband. The AP, accountability partner, my man, $10. Mr. Let Go. I'm my wife's emotional thermostat, and I am not her friend. What kind of advice is that? Welcome to divorce court. But Judge, I watch YouTube, Mr. Let Go said. Take K.
I'm going to tell her to sit her ass down, and I'm going to listen at the same time.
Take K, $2. Wealthy people have time, rich people don't. Damn right. John the Baptist, $5. Mr. Let Go, new name is Johnny Walker, the Midnight Stalker. He spies on his women. I got that vibe too, I ain't gonna lie.
007.
What you doing?
Yo, y'all hilarious.
Hey, for those of you just tuning in, welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk Show, the best show on YouTube. Thank you for coming through. The panel has arrived. We got Sweeney coming through in a moment. Get those likes up right now. These likes are disrespectful. We got 705 people watching and only 231 likes. But that was probably the dopest opening I've ever seen. That was dope. That was a dope discussion. So for that fire, I need y'all to get those likes up to like 500 right now. It's free. Get those likes up. We appreciate the super chats. All of those will be read aloud. I do have the next topic coming. Shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley, as well. All right. So the next topic is, and we're going to start at the bottom with Coach K. It's your boy, your favorite guy, Steve Harvey. And it is, what are your thoughts about blended families? Stay tuned for the video. Oh, damn. That was getting interesting. I don't know what he was about to say. But we'll start with Coach K. What are your thoughts about blended families?
Well, it wouldn't be my first pick, I would say. I mean, me and my husband, we don't have kids, so we're going to be okay. But unfortunately, it's the new norm. I would say it can work, but it can be messy, and there's a lot more added to just already a challenging family dynamic. I mean, family life is hard. Life is hard, but with a blended family, it adds that extra layer. And I think it's funny when he was talking about the boys, they didn't really care. That's men for you. They just don't give a damn. But girls, we're petty. But I do agree with him also when he added, the girls, like, what are you bringing? Like, your children, or however old they were, what do you have? Like, as far as to say, but that still does contribute to the dynamic and the overall, I guess, atmosphere that the family is going to be having when they get married. So it's not my first option, obviously, but it can work. It is difficult, though.
All right, Israel.
The first thought that came to my mind was that Lori Harvey is one of those girls, and she didn't have anybody. Now she has everybody. So that was kind of interesting to me. So that came to my mind. But when it comes to blended family, I think that it's not an ideal thing. The ideal thing is that the person that you have a child with, that y'all could work it out and that y'all can make things happen in the best interest of your child. Because one thing in my experience, and again, this is anecdotal, that I notice is children want their parents together. They see themselves reflected in their mother and they see themselves reflected in their father. And no matter how much of a piece of poop you are as a mother or a father, your child thinks that you're the best thing since sliced bread ever, generally speaking, early on, right? And so the older I get, the more I lean towards not blending families, because it is extremely complicated. It is there's so many different moving parts, so many different things that go into that. And that's just my added.
All right. Carol.
Yeah, I think blended families are challenging to have, because when you join a family, or if the family joins together, before it becomes norm, everybody has to like get to know each other, trust everybody, trust your new siblings, live in the whole house together with basically strangers. So it definitely will be more challenging than just getting a partner and having kids and having 5 kids with that one person and making everybody actually blood, So definitely there's going to be a lot of hiccups, because you have a lot of restrictions when you are dating somebody that has their own children, because they have another person that is the parent of that child that needs to be considered, and then you have restrictions on how you're going to carry yourself around those kids. You're not their dad, so you can't walk around in your underwear. You're not their mom, so you can't walk around naked. So at the end of the day, having a blended family would be more restricted for sure. So it won't make it simple. You have to be very vigilant and pay attention to what you're doing and how you're acting.
All right. Lady Chan.
Why do you always say my name like that, Mike?
I have to. It just came out.
British
Lady Chan.
Isn't a blended family better than, obviously the best thing is to be with whoever you had kids with. Okay,
Yep.
So we've moved on from that. That's not what's happened. So isn't a blended family better than no family? Just because something's difficult doesn't mean that the outcome you achieve isn't amazing. Like at the end of the day, if you date a man and he's got children, it's about your individual heart. You know that's what you're taking on, and you're going to do that with the best of your abilities and love. Not everything works with. There's people that are blood related and they can't stand each other. So So at the end of the day, it's about the individual. There are, like Coach K says, there's moving parts. But I would ask Coach K, if your husband, who is the stand-up guy enough that he's your husband, if he had a child before you, does that make him less stand-up? Does that make all the good things that you love about him non-qualification? Now he doesn't qualify. Does that nullify his good points of why he's now your husband? You still love him, or do you not? Because it's about you love him on the basis of his traits and his character, not because he's got one child before you.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I have an identical twin, if people didn't know, and she has a blended family, and it's actually working out really good. Of course, there's drama, but it's working out the best that anyone would hope. I just, with the circumstances that we're in, I would not want it that way. But it still is better than no family at all. Because I like to think, well, my niece has, an extra set of parents to love her, So there is that part of it. But of course, I would prefer my family just to be 2 parents and then the kids. But yeah.
Yeah. But I agree. It is more difficult. There is more moving parts. It is a little intricate. And you should stay with the people that you've decided to have a kid with. But things don't work out like that. And I want to hear Lady Di's opinion on this, because I know you're a part of a so-called blended family. So let me.
All right. Sean Antonio, what you got? What are your thoughts about blended families?
I think they covered a lot of things. It's not ideal. It is pretty prevalent, it seems. I think, though, for me, right? What I think is important, wherever possible, I think the father and the biological father, or the stepdad and the biological dad, I think they need to have a conversation. They need to come to an understanding. So say, for instance, for me, I wouldn't need a man to parent my daughter, even if her mom gets remarried. I don't need you to parent my daughter. You're there for the mom. And I'm a certain type of dude. I don't need you to do nothing as it relates to my child. So I think it would be important for him to have that information, for us to have an understanding on how he thinks he should proceed, how I think he should proceed. And then he can decide if he wants to proceed, because I may be a headache that he doesn't want to have. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's really important for that to happen. And then too, sometimes the women, you may want that same thing too. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's important to come to that understanding.
All right, Lady Di.
So, my husband is not a baby daddy. Just wanted to address that. He was married. Okay. We Need to Talk. You'll see an episode of us. But as far as it goes, I come from a blended family. My parents got a divorce. So I actually was in that situation from the age of 10 years old. Me as the person who went into one, I personally did not like it. Because there's a lot of, like you said, you have to get to know people, and the people that you get to know, you may not like. And guess what? You can't do nothing about it. You're forced to this is it. This is the new family now. And then you grow up and you're like, wow, we went through a lot of trauma, right? So I'm in it. So right now I have a stepson, right? But it's not like it wasn't ideal. That's not what I wanted to do. But see, in this world, someone said it's like the new norm. So unfortunately, that's just how it is. So when I look deeper past that, I'm like, okay, well, is this person a good person? And I'm like, yeah, damn good person. So what I got to do, either I'm going to be with him or I'm not, because I can't let kids get in the way. They kids, guess what they do? They grow up, and they gone. So I can't let this child stop my happiness, right? So I had to be mature and be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger person, and I'm going to be an extra additive to this person's life, because like someone else said, now this person has a family or more family. And I try to make sure I'm more positive. But even though I'm in one, and I'm in one, I have a family like that. And then I was one, and still, sorry, parents are still married. So I don't think it's a good idea though, at the same time, because what's happening is the child has to already deal with whatever the natural parents' traumas are, right? So whatever that family is going through, guess what? Naturally, that child is supposed to go with them, because that's just natural. But then when you add, okay, well, this step parent and that step parent. So let's say if both parents get remarried, now you got two extra families that you got to go through trauma with. That's too much for a child. I don't agree with that. Because guess what? Even though, let's say your household might be okay, but the other household might not be. They're not going to be on the same pattern as you. It's rare to see that. I only seen it one time. And I only seen it one time where I went to a birthday party, and you had the two parents, they both got remarried. They came together and planned their daughter's birthday together. Me and my husband was the first parents there, and I seen both of the couples there. And I'm like, wow. And the child was so happy. If it was like that, maybe. But you don't see that. No one wants to co-parent properly. Someone is jealous. It's always something going on. So unfortunately, the people that are in this world is making it kind of impossible for it to be ideal. So I wouldn't sit here and say, yeah, go ahead and do that. You can, yeah, sure, you could be a stepdad or you could be a stepmom. Sure, you could help this child's life. But understand, if you do that, it's going to be a lot of work. It is not easy. I tell you that, and I'm just being real transparent. It's not easy, because you're dealing with everybody else's trauma and you ain't even deal with yours yet. So you have to take that into consideration when you're talking about children, and you want the best for them. So be the best as you can and do what you got to do. You make your own decision. I made mine. I'm glad I made my decision, because I wouldn't have my husband today. So.
All right. I think that was very mature. Very mature. I'm really interested to hear what Mr. Let Go got to say about this.
All right. One, is one word that I just that struck me, and with what Steve Harvey was saying, and just the thought process of a blended family, and that is implementation. What happens? I don't know. Sometimes I look at Steve Harvey's life and I'm like, how the hell are you just giving people advice? Your life is just freaking crazy. For him to have to choose a woman, and this ain't just about him, but I just want to use them for an example. They're in Memphis, right? She is allegedly, her ex-husband was a drug kingpin, and they're in Memphis. Keyword Memphis, right? So you got to look at what everything looks like. Her kids are used to different types of dudes. Her kids are used to a different type of life, right? So imagine you in the hood, your mama dating all these dope boys, and then Steve Harvey, goofball looking ass with his slacks on, come around. You don't want to be with your mama, right? You're like, who is this dude? Now, Steve Harvey may be the right man for her, but it takes time for them to just get an understanding of like, okay, I'm used to this type of dude. I'm used to this type of life. And now I'm over here. Because sometimes your life could be negative, chaotic, or problematic, but it's all you know. And then this other person comes in your life and they're so different than what you're used to, you automatically don't like it. So I can only assume that her kids were somewhat like her. Used to dope boy shit, used to dumb shit. They in Memphis, idiot shit. And then this dude comes in here and wearing suits and shit all the time. They're like, who the hell is this dude? So for Steve not to, and I know he's not really saying everything that went on in his situation, but for him to not at least consider that and probably listen to the kids and say, all right, you know what? I'm going to respect 4 members of this family and say, you know what? Cool. Let's give this a little bit more time before I whisk you away and marry you and move you out of Memphis or whatever, and give them time for your rules, your ideologies, your way of living to be implemented in their lives. Because you have to make sure that everybody is on the same page. That's why I always talk about system. You can't just jump in, grab a woman and take her kids and we're going to move over here. Because the kids actually matter. Because people are like, oh, they just some damn kids, they ain't got no job. They're fucking people. And you are literally about to change their lives. And that matters. So you got to find out what the problems are with the children, especially if it's 4 of them. It's one, that might be easy. But goddamn, it's all 4 of them got a problem with it. There's a problem. And it might be a crazy problem that their mom is used to dope boys and shit. So it might be something like that. But at the end of the day, just like we talked about women, they still deserve to be heard. And one other thing is we got to make sure before we add a woman and her kids to our lives, who is this woman and who are these kids? Because this woman and the kids can come in and literally tear your whole life up. So not only do you got to get to know the woman, you got to get to know the damn kids, because her kids can come in and ruin the lives of your kids. So all of this needs to be taken into account. So for him to be like, oh, I don't worry about what these kids is, we gonna go. No, you got to give everybody time to slowly implement into this new life of me and your mom gonna be together. I don't believe in all that. I don't care what they say. We just gonna do it. No, kids have not a say so, but they have an opinion, especially if they finna live in your damn house and follow your rules. They're people. They're just small.
Okay. The real Precious. What you got?
It takes a lot of, I would think it takes a lot of patience and communication.
That was a round of applause, sorry, because that was a mic drop moment.
Oh, okay.
Lady Shan. What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a mic drop.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead, Precious.
Yeah, patience and communication. Like Lady Di, I remember going to my brother was dating this girl, and we went to a graduation party, and her mom, was married to her dad, and then got remarried, and everyone was together, socializing, able to just be mature. Her daughters may have been older when her mom got remarried, but at the same time, whether it happens young or old, you have to have open communication with all parties involved, because blended family, you're blending so many personalities, different principles and beliefs, and everybody's not going to always be on the same page, but that needs to be like a town hall meeting. When you blending families, it needs to be a town hall meeting, because these children belong to two sets of people, like, you know what I mean? And so it has to be something that you're willing. I like to use this hot, honest, open, and transparent, where you're able to just sit and just say, hey, this is what's going to be going forward. Even have a meeting with the kids, if so they're included, so they feel, because a lot of times, like Lady Di was saying, she experienced it both ways. She was in a blended family, and then her family is a blended family, and a lot of times people don't consider the children. And I think somebody else said it, I think Sean said it, where it's just like, I'm gonna parent my child. I'm still an active father. Like, I'm not going anywhere just because you done married somebody. So that has to be discussed too, because a lot of times when you get with someone, it's like, okay, are they going to have the authority to discipline your children? Like, what is that going to look like? So I think that you have to be able to sit down and talk about that, because if not, when things happen, it's more than likely going to be a blow up. It's more than likely going to be, something that you might not be able to bounce back from. So I think having those open conversations in the beginning, before thinking about blending the family, I think a lot of people take it upon themselves, like, oh, I could just do whatever I want to do, not considering that these children are watching you just doing whatever you want to do, and then not going back to toxic Avengers, acknowledging their feelings, especially for women, for girls, little girls. Like he said, his sons didn't care. His sons could care less. But the little girls, or big girls, however old they were, they're going to carry that with them. And so when you blend the family and you don't consider their feelings, they're going to think every man is going to be like that. They're going to think they're not going to be emotionally attached to men. They're going to use them for whatever they're useful for, and then keep it moving. So that communication has to be, communication and consideration has to be there for all families involved.
I just don't know what the hell Steve Harvey be saying. Like, who put him where he is? The shit he be talking about be the craziest shit. Oh, I don't care what these 4 human beings that's gonna live in my house for the next 10, 15 years got to say about me. What?
I think what he's talking about, though, because you made a good point, like, you do need to factor in the kids, because it affects them tremendously. But at the same time, I remember my dad would say when I was younger, you don't pay these bills. So, like, your say only goes so far.
And he probably thinks that,
with a life, though. Like, I one thing I can't stand is when any parent throws out, I pay these bills. Who gives a shit? I still got to live here, and I got an opinion on certain things. Like, come on, it don't make no sense.
So now let go.
Cat Williams said it. Cat Williams said it. Pancakes, 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 steak and motherfucking potatoes. It is. Hey, that's what it is.
All right, let me get my answer on this real quick. So, after listening to y'all, I think I've kind of amended my answer a little bit, because what I will say is that not everyone does the leaving. Some people do get left by a spouse, and then they feel obligated because they have kids to create that family environment for those children. That's exactly what I would do. I even said if I ever ended up divorced, I wouldn't get married again, but then I realized I have an obligation, because men create, like, God forbid anything happened to my wife where she's not on the earth anymore. I would, because of my daughter, I would feel obligated to get married again. So she had that female presence there. I don't even like thinking about that type of thing. But anyway, I will say this. One thing we have done in the West is make things that are supposed to be exceptions normal, right? So I understand that these things can happen, and what you have to do from that standpoint. But I just don't like the fact that we're trying to make it normal now. That's why you keep having these dust ups. That's why they're able to make so many reality shows out of this. I want the original. Somebody said it. Your kids want their dad and mom together. I am afraid. I'm not afraid to say it like that either. I am afraid to not have my squad that I came in with. That is my squad that I created. I created this family. I put us together. I shot you into your mom and she birthed you out. Okay. This is my squad.
Bro, you make that sound real
so much
horrible.
of my identity is wrapped up in the woman that I had children with first. We built everything together. We bought this house. We did all this stuff. I do not feel, me personally, that I can go out like because of what that means to me. I will be half of a husband to anybody else. That doesn't happen to everybody because some wives are terrible, and that's why men leave them or they get left. But that's what I'm saying from the inception. That's the outlook that people need to have. That's not the outlook everybody has, right? Some people go in with half a foot at, half a foot in, half a foot out. But things that are supposed to be exceptions, we've now made the rule. It's not supposed to be this prevalent. I have seen it work both ways. I have seen a woman come into a family and be an angel to those kids, exactly what was needed to piece that broken family together because their mom is just no good. And then I've seen a woman or a father come in and be completely evil, right? So there used to be a time where there'd be 8 fathers in a community, 2 kids, they ran one dad out because he was, beating the mom, and those 8 people could account for those 8 dads could account for that woman, and then some dude would come in and marry, and everybody called him the kinsman redeemer and would cheer for him because he's making that woman honest again. That is the way these things need to happen, not just make it where you throwing it in your spouse's face. I can get another man if I want to. No, you're supposed to want the original. I would rather fix my marriage 1,000 times than to go start some shit elsewhere. That's what we need to be telling the kids today.
Bars.
All right, so let's get these super chats read because we got 2 more topics before we get to the main. But this was another good one. Christopher, $2. Salute to Israel, toxic Avengers. You got fans, bro. AL, $2. You cut off what he said about Lori 10 seconds later. TK, $2. As a husband, I am my wife's business. That was to the last topic. John the Baptist, $20. Blended families in a patriarchal systems has a chance for the man to raise decent kids and lead the wife. A blended family in today's time is a disaster. Today's society is a matriarchal and doomed to destroy a man. I've seen a few good women. I have seen a woman come in and but she surrendered. That's what it is. She's like, these are your children. You may, do that. But that's the way it works. Shan better be good tonight. You got fans too. Oh, your biggest fan. Foreign currency. I can't wait to smurf that from the back. Call me. Marcus $2. And hello, everyone. What's up, bro? Peace. Dub Will, my man. Sir Lancelot on the Thursday show. You doing big things. I see you, homie. Who's that?
He's talking about me. Oh, Dub Will talk about me. What up, Dub?
John the Baptist, $5. Marriage with kids or shotgun wedding should really be until death do them part. You made the kids together, raised the kids together. That's the shit I'm on, for real. Spaces, $5. I bought 6 different packs of Mr. Let Go's cards. They ask in-depth, conversation-provoking questions. But why weren't you at the show in Chicago, Let Go? You got an answer?
I was in a show in Chicago.
Who was there?
Oh, that person was lying. They didn't go.
Oh. It was 2 shows in Chicago. I wasn't in the first show. I was at the second show. So yeah, I was. All
right, bet. So I'm lying. All right. Time out, $2. Mr. Let Go. Please let go of the mic.
Yo, people are crazy.
Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah, you frozen. You good.
Oh, my bad. All right. John the Baptist, $5. I swear every time I hear Mr. Let Go speak, I lose 10 minutes of life.
Damn.
John the Baptist, $2. Mr. Let Go, are you Nigerian? I'm just saying. He said we're terrible pilots because we can't land planes. We talk too damn long. That's what he means by that. I see y'all laughing. That shit ain't funny. All right. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk Show, the greatest show on YouTube. Get those likes up. We got 330. I told y'all I needed it up to 500. All right. We got an all-star panel here. Appreciate y'all for coming through. This has been a fire conversation thus far. I'm having a blast. Let's get the next topic started. We're actually just going to jump in on this one. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Another Steve Harvey one from the same thing, but Steve Harvey says men are responsible for bringing everything to the table. I know y'all about to go in on this one. Stay tuned for the video.
With this generation.
Somebody remove the mic from this man before he does any more damage to the goddamn. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, man. He gets on my nerves. Hey, look, we can jump in on this one because I know y'all want to chop
Why
it up.
y'all don't like Steve
Somebody,
Harvey?
anybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read all
Steve
the super chats
Harvey.
for this one. Chat, I know y'all want to go nuts. I need to hear y'all responses.
Steve Harvey is the main progenitor of the reason why things are the way it is with that silly book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman. It really should be called 10 Ways to Finesse a Dude Without Him Really Knowing About It. That's really what the book should be called. Yeah.
I gotta read it. I never bought it.
I'm
gonna read it because y'all have been
Steve Harvey is the original Derek Jackson. But with all that said, what I will say is this: he's not all the way wrong, right? So the way he put it in the beginning is flawed. We all know that it's extremely flawed because a woman should bring something to the table beside just herself. That's an absolute. And it makes no sense that he would frame it that way. But on the back end, he's exactly right that it is a man's job to take care of his women and his children. So while he was extremely flawed in the beginning, and that's absolutely ridiculous, asinine, reprehensible, it makes no sense at all. The back end, it is true that a man should be responsible for taking care of his woman and his children.
Right,
I watched the whole interview. I watched the whole entire interview, and when he did start off with that attention grabber, why you asking women what they bring to the table, but in the after and he elaborated and said about the qualities of his wife, how he felt like his life basically progressed and everything became peaceful and smooth once she was in the door because nothing else changed. He was already successful. He was already doing things, doing shows and all that stuff. He just didn't have a woman like her by his side. And he said, your woman can literally make you over. That part was like literally after I think that you cut it. He said, that woman can make a better you or something like that. I don't know the exact words. And I think he's right. Basically, you don't have to ask a woman, what does she bring to the table? If you are conversing with this woman, spending time with this woman, taking this woman out, going to her house, meeting her friends and family, you're going to know what she brings to the table. And if you don't know, you're not doing what Mr. Let Go was saying, being a little intrusive, asking the correct questions, putting her in different scenarios where you can see how she responds to waiters, responds to her business partners or whatever she got going on, or your business partners or whatever the case may be. So if you're not putting your girl in all the different scenes to see what she actually does bring to the table, then you're not really doing due diligence, dating correctly, and trying to figure out if this woman is for you. Because a woman can lie. Well, what do you bring to the table? I'm super nurturing. I'm super family oriented, all these lies. But then when you really get in the house with her, she doesn't clean. She's not organized. She don't do nothing. She's laying down watching TV every day and things like that. Doesn't have a productive schedule. So you didn't know that because you weren't being a little bit intrusive and trying to find out like what type of woman she actually is.
Well, this
So
definitely,
I agree to an extent too.
There's absolutely a difference between putting your woman in all different types of scenarios and situations, which I absolutely agree with. You should absolutely, I say you should at least let 4 seasons go by before you even consider marrying a woman, because you need to see her with your family. You need to see her with her family. You need to see her around your friends, around her friends in different scenarios. So I absolutely agree with that. But that's a whole totally different thing than seeing her in different situations and being all up in her business, right? You got to know all her emotional everything. What Sue and Sally and Sarah is doing. That's like totally different.
No, not about that. I agree. I like, you want to see her, at least you're going to meet her child if you're going to date her for real and things like that. So you want to see how she is as mother. You want to see if you come over, if she cooks, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to basically see what she brings to the table. You're going to say, hey, you know, this woman actually is impressive. And this woman actually, I'm taking a huge liking to her because I feel like she is, you know, a plus for me. Like she will add value for me. So you guys are the ones that should be looking at the value, because it's abstract for women, and yeah, you should take heed of it.
You hit the nail on the head right there. Is abstract for a woman. They're intangible things that a woman brings to the table. So asking a woman, what do you bring to the table, in itself is stupid, because she's not going to be able to tell you, because one, women aren't necessarily good at communicating, and two, they have a narcissistic side of seeing their value. So they're always going to overvalue themselves. You ask a woman what her, like, rate yourself 1 to 10, they're going to say I'm a 10. They're not a damn 10. So listening to a woman talk is never the way to go. You got to pay attention to how she moves, how she operates, and you got to observe her. And like Israel said, that 4 season shit is a real thing. You get to a woman's 3rd season, think you know her, oh, that 4th season going to tear your ass up if you ain't paying attention. So the bottom line is, you can't sit here and ask a woman, what does she bring to the table? Because she's going to give you all kinds of stupid shit that she don't even bring to the damn table, because that's what women do. Women over-exaggerate life. That's just who they are. So altogether, when I look at Steve Harvey, I just be like, bro, like, you are hurting black people with all this dumb shit. Oh, she don't bring nothing to the table. She can make another you. Shut up. Because that doesn't matter unless she's the right woman for you. So if you because the thing about it, if you make another you and she's stupid and crazy and dysfunctional, she's going to make a bizarro you that is crazy and dysfunctional. So she can't make another you, but she can make a worse you.
But you gotta think of it in a positive light, though.
All right, y'all. I wanna show y'all something real quick, because I'm really tired of this discussion about what you bring to the table. I want to show y'all this real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, this is a chart, an income chart. Let me see if I can zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen this chart already.
All right,
I
this
actually
is an
seen this
income chart. Oh, damn. What
Can
did I
you
do?
zoom it in, enlarging it?
Yeah, let me.
We
zoom
at
it
the
in.
bottom. We all the way at the bottom.
So this is 16 other ethnic groups that are above African Americans in America in income. All right. And the reason I showed this is because what these other 16 groups have in common is that they don't ask this goddamn question. This is a non-starter question. We have to stop this stupid ass question. What does she bring to the table? In fact, they answer the question before they even get married. Does anybody know what the answer to the question is?
I am the table.
No, whatever your husband requires.
That was a good answer.
Whatever your husband requires for you to bring, that is what you bring.
That's right.
If he requires you to go to work, go to work. If he requires you to stay home so the children have a better quality of life, stay home. They have the question answered. Bring whatever needs to be done to advance life faster for yourself and for your children. I never in my life imagined myself with a woman that did not have the same level of productivity as me. And that is why I have more than 99% of my peers. Nobody can down talk me for that. Unless you make more money than me, nobody can talk more shit. Nobody can talk shit to me, because I planned it out this way. All these other people are killing us because they ain't talking about this shit like that. It's crazy to me. But yeah,
I think
a woman needs to bring to the table is a goddamn chair so she can sit her ass down somewhere.
Mr. Lucko
No.
speaks to women, right?
No.
Point about the
I mean,
she might be crazy.
Honestly, like, I get what y'all saying, but I think he was just talking about on a financial sense. He's just saying, I mean, I'm gonna provide for her, and no, he wasn't. I'm gonna provide for her and the kids that she that we bring, and that's it. You just need to look pretty, sit down or whatever, and learn how to be feminine. Like, that's it. I don't know why y'all taking it so deep.
Because it is deep. Listen, go ahead, Coach K. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll be really quick. I think each party in this table, meeting at this table, needs to focus on what they themselves are bringing before they start requiring other people to bring something. Because half the time, whatever you want someone to bring to the table, you don't deserve. You don't qualify for. Well, qualify is a buzzword in this conversation too, but how do you know that person is going to pick you? And I think what people need to be thinking about are what are these qualities that you want in someone, and what are the qualities that you have that, the person that you desire will want in, in a partner, in a spouse. I think it's much easier for people to focus on what that person needs to have, so then they don't have to look in the mirror and do the work themselves. And I will say I'm really hard on women, but I do want to ask Mr. Let Go if he coaches women, if that's his target market, because he doesn't think very highly of them. I don't think of my potential clients like that, but I don't know, maybe work wonders. So
Can you elaborate on what you're saying? I don't think highly of women.
They're who you coach, right? Primarily.
No. Can you elaborate on your statement? I don't think highly of women.
I first asked if you coach women, right?
Yes, but I then asked, what do you mean by what you just said? Can you elaborate?
By what you've said earlier, by
What did I say earlier?
You said women are children?
No.
Well, he didn't say it today, at least.
On another
What did I
podcast.
say?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna use that one. You I'm trying to think of what you just.
I know what you're saying.
Repeat your answer. What you
Get his
just
ass,
said.
Coach K.
Leave her alone.
You
Coach
said
K.
that women. You said that women are emotional and they need to bring and sit their butts down or whatever, and that they
Sean
can't.
said women
Go
are
ahead.
emotional.
No.
And go ahead.
What? Repeat your answer, because when I wanted to bring this up,
repeat your
it was to. I asked you earlier, but then Trigger Mike.
Coach,
and I'll rewind the tape.
Ask an actual question and answer an actual question.
I asked you, do you coach women? Because if you didn't coach women, I was not going to continue with my question, because it would be irrelevant.
I asked you to elaborate, which you seemed inept at doing. What do you mean?
I'm going to rewind it. I'm going to rewind it back. I'm going to rewind it back.
Answer the question. Can you, Coach?
Y'all getting spicy.
We're gonna stop right here.
He
and
did say he
we're gonna
do
make it
coach
real
women
simple.
anyway.
Can you elaborate on your? Can you let me get the question out so you can? Because you can't seem to get the answer out. Can you elaborate on what you mean by you saying I don't think highly of women?
So if you don't mind, I would prefer, because I want to make sure that I don't put words in your mouth.
Can you elaborate on that question? That's how you think. Can you elaborate on your thoughts? Can you not just articulate
I would rather use the words that came out of your mouth.
Elaborate your thoughts.
I would rather use examples. So I'm going to pause and go rewind it, because I'd rather be honest and come in good faith and use your words.
This is one of the problems that I see with women, Coach K. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why I always instruct women to sit their asses down somewhere, even when I coach them. Okay. Because in a lot of cases, like I said before, women overall have an absorbent way of they look at themselves as better or smarter than they actually are. You feel me?
That's one thing you said earlier. Yeah, they're narcissists.
Can you let me finish? So with all that being said, when they actually talk, they don't expect to have an answer come back because they're women. So when I simply ask you a simple question, you can articulate yourself, and you say you're a coach. So this is kind of weird.
I am a coach, and I take notes when I coach, but I'm not taking notes right now when every single person is talking. And because this is hold on, can I finish, please? Can I finish, please?
That you don't know how to articulate when somebody asks you on them.
Can I finish, please? When I was originally going to ask you this question, other people were talking, because this is a panel. When it was fresh.
What is the question?
I didn't ask you a question just now.
You just said originally you're going to ask me a question. What are we doing here?
My original question, was about who you coach.
Okay. I think we have to drop this down to elementary, because I don't know what's going on. You said two statements. You said one.
All right, I'm going to be right back.
Coach women or not? But yes, I coach women. Where'd she go?
Yeah, she's going to play it back.
She's going to go review what you were saying earlier.
While y'all waiting for that, can I say something after that?
So this is the reason why I coach women. This is why right here. So we can put women in position where they can actually deal with
I'm
a
so
simple
lost, and
match
I'm the
man.
host.
But can I
I'm the
say
host,
this,
and I'm
Trigger Mike?
lost. Go ahead.
So in the meantime, well, the whole table conversation, like, of course, no man should ever go up to a woman and say, "Hey, what do you bring to the table?" That's the most ridiculous thing ever. But the Four Seasons is to see the woman, like the young lady was saying, in different scenarios and different situations, to see how she interacts, right? And so the importance of a woman bringing something to the table is not financial. It's what she brings as far as compliance, what she brings as far as cooperation, what she brings as far as her willingness and her eagerness to be able to fulfill what you need as a man. So that's what she needs to bring to the table. And that's why the table is so important. It has nothing to do with money, because if a man is getting money, he could care less what you're doing with your money. I mean, now don't get me wrong. A man will have a plan for your money too. I mean, let's just be honest. But I'm saying it doesn't matter how much you make.
So he's probably just arrogant and just like whatever lady he gets is going to just follow whatever he says at that point, since I think he got with her when he had money already, he was established. So he's feeling like, okay, well, I want you on my team, so I don't give a damn what you bring because you're gonna follow me anyway. Maybe that's where he was coming from.
Yeah, but that's highly flawed. Like Mr. Let Go is alluding to, he's a clown, really. Steve Harvey is really a clown and a bad example because he has multiple failed marriages because of the way that he approaches the situation with women. He thinks that money is going to solve his deficiencies as a man, and money never solves your deficiencies as a man. It only enhances.
Let me say something. Just because someone's got multiple failed marriages, does that mean you don't listen to them? Because I'm sure you guys all like Kevin Samuels. I do.
Well,
let's not go over. So multiple failed marriages doesn't mean that you can't learn.
But Steve Harvey, can I address this trigger? Can I address her since she's addressing me? Hold on. Let me address her since she's addressing me. Steve Harvey is not about just a person having multiple failed marriages. This is specific to Steve Harvey. And you could tell a tree by the fruit it bears, right? You can see the type of man that Steve Harvey is by, number one, how his wife acts, and number two, how his daughter or children act, right?
Yep.
Number three, he produced 2 books that were led to a lot of the destruction within the Black community because of the mentality. He has a certain level of influence. He has a certain level of cachet. And so because of that, he's leading people to destruction because he's nobody to follow for real. That's what I mean. It's specific to Steve Harvey, not just because you had several failed marriages. It's about him and his several failed marriages.
And that's the reason why I brought up the woman Steve Harvey chose to actually marry, which is a queen pin.
Failed marriages. That was one of your key statements. So that's why that looks like that was at the forefront. So I just.
But it's who he married, also, Lady Shan.
Hey,
we got to
bro.
look at the choices that people are making. Just like I say, women are pookie pickers. He's actually a pookie picker. He's a female pookie picker.
Hey, bro, can we keep this a being, right? We can keep this a being, right? Most people ain't getting money like that. Most people ain't 6 and 7 figure people, right? So this is the thing. It does matter what the fuck you bring to the table. It absolutely matters. You got people who would love to make $50,000 a year. That would be a lot to them. So it absolutely matters what the woman brings to the table in terms of resources, in terms of mindset. All that shit matters. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we can have higher level conversations because, the money may not matter as much, but it absolutely matters. But overall, Steve Harvey is a clown, and I agree with my boy. You should never be like, hey, what do you bring to the table? That's some goofball shit. If you don't have a discernment to literally pay attention to how the woman is, then you shouldn't be with that woman. She shouldn't even make it to the point where she is your woman if you don't understand what she brings to the table. That's a you thing. That's not a her thing. That's a goofy question to ask.
Criteria. Our criteria, everybody's criteria is different. Maybe that shit, because at the end of the day, like you said, not everybody makes 6, 7, and in some cases 8 figures. But what does she bring to the table? The table was already set. So at this point, he doesn't care. He doesn't really care. His table's set. He's got a specific criteria that you may not have. Because not every man's got a set table. He probably just wanted the pretty thing that, you know, was quiet when she needed quiet, looked good on his arm, and looked, maybe that was his criteria for him.
Right, but the
wait,
thing
hold on,
is,
Sean. The table isn't set because
No,
if
but
the table
Shane, this is
if
why
the
you
table
can't
was set, he
look-
wouldn't need a wife. If the table was set right,
need
he
a wife.
has no need or no use for a wife.
Hold
He
on,
doesn't
Shane.
need
This
a
is
wife.
why-
What?
I mean,
What are
the
you talking
way
This is
about?
why Precious
Your
getting
table is
upset.
set. That's why you need a.
Hold
He
on,
needs
No,
Precious.
his
Go ahead.
table is not set, and the idea
his
of
table's set.
he listen.
wanted
His
the
table meaning okay. So what I mean by that is his table is not set. What I mean by that is we're not just talking about money, right? So of course, Steve
Red.
Harvey makes or earns a certain amount of money, right?
Yeah.
So the money aspect of it is not what it is, but he absolutely was looking for a wife for specific reasons. So the financial aspect is not the whole aspect. That's what I mean by the
His
table being
lifestyle was
set is
set.
not the whole deal. That's
His
what I mean by
lifestyle was set. Let's not pretend that money isn't a big factor. His lifestyle was set. His money was set. His career was set. His path was set. He just wanted someone. The table was set. He just wanted someone to come to eat.
yeah, that's
I
that.
mean,
But you gotta have
But
table
that
manners.
don't mean
You gotta
shit.
have
That's
table manners to come to
bullshit.
that table,
That's
though.
Right,
bullshit.
it is bullshit, Sean.
He wouldn't just let anybody come to that table. So there are requirements because he
Right.
wouldn't just let anybody come to that
That's what I
table.
mean by that.
So there are
His
requirements.
wife looks
That
nice.
statement doesn't even make
His
sense.
requirements.
That's why I said
There-
he just.
His requirements. They may not be your requirements, my requirements. His
But he was saying, like, asking the question of what do you bring to the
Hang on, you
table.
can't
That's like,
All right, let's get another lady in there, Chan.
But
Precious, I know
let
you
me
wanted
just
to
finish.
go.
So
Precious
requirements
is up
are
next. Let's get
everything
Precious in there.
specific to the person.
Let's
His
get-
requirements were his requirements. He wanted someone to come to his set table to eat. Not anybody could come to his set table to eat. He had requirements. She met them.
Can you
All
say
right,
person
Precious,
again
go
for
ahead.
me?
Precious,
yeah,
go ahead.
like
Let me know when I can go after.
You can go after.
Go ahead, Precious.
From original design, we're gonna go back to the garden. Adam was given a task. He was supposed to work. He was supposed to do those things. And the woman that was created from him came from his side, which means Adam is going to recognize Eve. Eve got to do her job and get her mind together and get her emotions together and get her spirit together so Adam can recognize her. When we talk about money, Steve Harvey, yes, he had the money. Just like Sean said, everybody's not a six-figure, seven-figure earner. So when you're looking at a man and his table, because I always say, and y'all know I always say, the man is the table. As a woman, you have to be apt enough to serve that table. And not a lot of women are apt enough to serve that table because they don't have a service mentality. They don't have a service heart posture. So yes, a woman does have to bring something to the table, but it's not going to look like his table.
Yeah, but
It's going to complement the table. It might be the flowers, the salt and pepper,
what you wanted.
the fork and knife.
Okay,
the napkins.
What
the
you're
white
saying,
linen.
Precious, is that
You're gonna
a
keep going
man
back
is the table. A woman just got to decorate it.
Precious, you spitting.
I
That sounds
served for
really good.
a long
I
time
like
in my
that
life,
analogy
and
a lot.
Hold on, Lady Shan.
I'm just
Shan,
saying.
let her finish.
As well. Eve
yeah.
did.
So I mean,
Man, let her finish.
I believe a man would recognize that. I believe a man would recognize that, and we're created to be his helpmate. So every woman he's with is not his helpmate. He could just be knocking her off, and that's helping him in some type of way. But in life, when you talk about, spending the rest of your life with someone, he is supposed to recognize her. She is just supposed to work on herself and make sure she is apt enough to be in his life and to help him with whatever he needs help with.
Well, clearly she met his criteria. What I'm trying to say is this: we may not agree with the criteria. I don't really care, to be honest. It doesn't affect my life, neither here or there. But what I'm saying is the criteria that he set, she met. Just because we don't get it or you don't get it. And if we're going back to biblical terms, like Eve fucked up the table that was set anyway. She fucked up the table that was set by God. So we can't keep going back, Eve and this and Adam this, because Eve fucked up the table.
But God asked Adam where he was at. He didn't ask Eve where she was at. Now Eve needed to get herself together. I'm not
Adam messed up the table.
But when he asked who was at, he asked where Adam was at, because Adam had an order. just like she had an
And
order.
he
But
is
he was the head.
responsible for the woman.
He was the
Facts.
head. So yeah, she did mess it up. You're right. She
Yeah.
messed it up, and for that now we're cursed, and just like men are cursed to work. So we all have our issues and the things that we all have to work out individually. But that doesn't mean just because the man has a table, the woman can just pull up a seat. That's not how that works.
That's right.
Okay, ready? Okay, so just the examples. I have a wicked long-term memory, but my short-term memory sucks. So the things that I thought of or I pointed out were asking what they bring to the table is stupid because she's not going to be able to tell you. Their narcissistic side of seeing their value. They're all going to overvalue themselves. They're going to rate themselves a 10 when they're not a 10, which I would argue women don't value themselves enough. And it's clear as day that they're trying to get value from external things and false things. Now, I agree with you saying listening to a woman talk is not the way to go and how she should show you. You should observe her. I agree with you there. And you said, bottom line, can't ask a woman what she's going to bring to the table. She's going to bring you all kinds of stupid that she don't even bring to the damn table. And they over-exaggerate life. My only question was asking if this is your niche, your target market, you don't see them in a very good light. Now, of course, that's why they hire you, to help them achieve whatever it is. But this is my opinion, but I would never talk about my clients, or at least that demographic, the way that you talk about women who are your potential clients.
Coach K,
That's all I was saying.
Coach K, let me just get this straight for a second. You selfishly leave the panel for a good 15 minutes so you can go get some ammunition or whatever, go watch a video or whatever, in order for you to come back and
I rewinded the tape, sir. See, tonight. That was tonight.
Coach Wars, not the
Coach
Coach
K,
Wars.
hold on, y'all. So, Coach K, one that is against what JR wants. You've been on this panel before. You don't turn your camera off for 20 minutes to go do some shit. Okay, that's the first.
You better
thing.
maintain that smoke for every single panelist. Okay,
I'm not done. And then, not only do you leave the panel to go do some other shit that has nothing to do with what we are doing, you just want to find a way to prove yourself being right. And then when you come back, you totally disrupt the flow of the goddamn show. We're not talking about that no more. It's 20 minutes later. So you actually think you're just going to come back on the show and say, all right, y'all, I'm back. So forget what y'all talking about. Let me go back and talk to Mr. Lego. That's not how it works. So
next time I'll put words in your mouth, okay?
I need you, like I said before, find you a chair and sit your ass down somewhere. Sit down.
Can I ask you a question though? Can you address what you said though earlier?
All right, y'all, we gotta get to the next one. We gotta get to the next one.
That's deflection at its finest.
Hold on, Shan, chill. You are disrespectful as fuck to come back on this show 20 minutes later, arguing about some shit 20 minutes later.
She said use the sign language.
Don't make me go look and see how long it really was, Mr. Lego.
Sign language. They say use the sign language, bro.
So much heat. All right, we got to move on.
Ain't nobody got time for this
shit. Game question coming up next. Let me get these super chats read. Miss Deb, $5. Lady Shan, can we get a little freestyle? She's dope. Are you gonna freestyle for us tonight, love? We love it. LD.
Oh, Trigger Mike. We're gonna have to drop the British accent.
All right.
We've got the memo. We've got the memo. I'm British.
I can't help it.
And you're not that bad at a British accent, I may add, but you know.
It's a dope accent though.
Less is more.
It is.
Less is a bit more.
$5. I've seen kids break up a family, blended family. People don't have control over their kids. I've seen them go rogue, and they use it as an excuse to go rogue if they're already teenagers, I think. Talk your ish, Mike. Marcus Evans, $2. Oh, I talk. John the Baptist, $5. Bring to the table. Steve Harvey sounds like someone on the panel. Who? John the Baptist? Who? Dub Will, $5.
You better let it go. Let it go.
Coming at Mr. Let Go neck. Defend yourself, black man. Chike Auto, my man, $5. Chan, you need to be calm or I will mute your British tone, fam.
Go
Chill
ahead.
out.
Do it. You're not on the panel to mute
Christopher
me.
J. Coach
No,
K, 1. Mr. Let Go, 0.
So you got washed.
Them y'all Jackson, $5. She literally proved y'all's point from earlier and needing to be right. Hitler wears Hermes. Coach K slapped that bald head. Dub Will, $5. I found a new respect for Mr. Let Go. All right. We got 947 people. How many likes we got? We just need to get those likes up. It don't matter how many likes up there. I appreciate y'all. Welcome to the Lapeef Let's Talk Show. Get those likes up right now. Shout out to the sponsor, Hanley. We got the game question coming up. Let me bring the banner up. For those of y'all that don't know, we've been dropping it all night. Mr. Let Go got a game called Deeper Discussions. Let's just have the deeper discussion and go ahead and explain again what that card game is about before we get to the game question.
All right, so deeper discussion is meant to get away from the surface level conversations that most people actually have. A lot of times we start dating somebody, we don't know their family structure, we don't know how they grew up, we don't know their childhood trauma, we don't know their triggers, we don't know anything about this person. You smile in their face and they smile in your face. This game is going to help you vet that person that you're dating or vet that person that you're in a relationship with. Because a lot of the things that, just like what Israel said, is 4 seasons to really get a good understanding of a person. This game is going to pull all 4 seasons out immediately.
In one night?
All in one game. You ain't going to be able to play the whole game in one sitting because it's like 80-some cards.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's the key to it. You play it, then you play it again, then you play it again, and you're like, oh shit, I'm learning a lot about this woman or about this man.
All right,
and
so we got the game. Oh no, go ahead. Finish up.
No, that's it.
All right, so we got the game question coming up. This is one of the sample questions from Mr. Let Go's game. When a man and woman are walking down a flight of steps, who walks in front and who walks in back? And why is this important? I don't want to go first. Oh my God. Okay. Y'all go ahead.
The man.
All right, explain.
Right. So
wait, the man what? Who does what?
On the way down, the man should, you know why? The man should be in front because if the woman trips up, then the man is able to block and help.
I ain't catching your ass. I say the woman, like real talk. I mean, whether it's anything
to go down the stairs first.
No, I mean going in and out of a door, going in and out of elevators and things like that. That's
and a door is different than going down the stairs.
Damn, can I answer the question? God damn, can I answer the question?
It was specific.
I didn't need y'all fucking help to answer that question. God damn. So look,
going down the
you're talking about an elevator.
I don't need y'all fucking assistance, my nigga.
Okay, well, let's keep it to stairs because that's.
Hey, look. You don't control. See, this is the problem. See, lady, we ain't even in no relationship. Look, I know we dress alike. I know we twinsies and shit, but you don't control what I say. So anyway, look.
Control the panel because this is what the show's about, answering the questions that were asked. That's all. Go ahead, stairs.
Shut up. Look, here's the thing, right?
That's one thing that you won't see. I tell you, because if
Shut your ass up.
Your mother, you won't like it. If I tell you your mama, you won't like it.
Did you say your mother?
Yeah. So let's not go there. Don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell me to shut up. You could have said be quiet or chill out. That's what you could have said. Suck your mum. Suck your mum.
Man. We should be respectful though.
Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to go pee. Y'all up here cursing each other out. I'm going to restate the question.
I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed. But you don't tell me what to say.
Did you say suck?
Lady Shan, just chill out.
Is that what y'all do over there on across the pond?
Tell your mother to shut up. Relax. Respect.
Lady Shan, chill.
She's in the cemetery, so I can't necessarily do that, right? But look, here's the thing, right?
No apologies here.
Shan, stop.
Hey.
We gotta learn how to let things go.
We're going far.
Gotta learn how to let things go.
Shan.
Stop. I ain't gonna say it again, Shan. Stop.
Hold on.
I hear you, but we gotta learn how to let things go because then we're gonna be arguing for another 20 minutes and it's not worth it. I know you ain't trying to be here long.
And I was really just joking, just to be honest, but damn, you took it to another level.
Yeah, a whole another level.
God damn, that was a joke.
Go ahead,
I'll
Sean.
answer
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
So,
Same way.
do I have permission to answer the question the way I want to answer it, Lady Shan?
Fuck your mum.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Look, man. This is the thing, right? So just me personally, right? So I just like to watch a person's back. You know what I'm saying? When I'm with them, I want to make sure I'm watching your back. You can see in front of you, you can't see behind you. I want to make sure I'm watching your back. You know what I'm saying? That's just really it. It's really that simple.
So what's the scenario where you watching her back? That's what we all are confused, because I was confused too. But like,
what do you mean? If I'm walking behind her, what's the scenario?
Where you walk behind her, and in certain settings you walk in front of her. Can you add context to the setting? Then we'll get an understanding.
When do you? I don't walk in front of my woman. What you mean? Who said I walked in front of her? I never said that.
Yeah, you said we was talking about walking down steps, right? And then you said, "Well, I will walk in front of her," and then we was like, "Down steps."
I never said in front of her. I never said that one time.
You did say in front of her.
No, I did not.
Maybe
I never said that. That's not even my opinion. I know my
just add
opinion.
context. We just don't know. We just don't know. That's all.
Okay, so I'm always gonna walk behind to protect, right? Other than that, we're walking side by side. Why would I walk in front? That don't even make sense to me.
Well,
I agree.
It's a very simple answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not
I
right
like
or wrong.
to walk
It's what the fuck I
behind.
do.
I like
It's
to
no right
walk
or wrong.
behind my man. Like if I'm walking with my man, if we're not doing anything like walking in the park or something, talking, I like to walk behind him.
Which is your
I don't
preference.
know
Oh
I
no,
get it.
you can't walk behind me.
No,
I do. I feel like the man should be in the forefront.
because I can't protect you. I can't protect you if you're behind me. But down the steps, right down the stairs, I think a man should walk down first, so that if she falls or if she needs something, he could brace her, or he could protect her. But in general, a woman should never walk behind her man. She should walk beside her man, but never behind him, because it's hard for him to protect her if she's behind him. That's all.
Damn, that's a very sensible fucking statement, Azrael.
Why do
That's
you
why
like
you my
to walk
guy.
behind him, Carol?
Because I feel like the man should be at the forefront of everything. Like initially, you see my man, not me. I don't want you to see me.
I'm not like
I'm
walking
kind
down
of
the
with
street,
you.
right?
You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like if we're coming in a place like introduction, side by side. If
Yeah,
we're
he's, like, in
conversing and
front.
walking in a park, side by side. But if we're walking in a mall, I literally walk like one step behind my man. It could be to the side, but it's gonna be behind him.
Carol, are you aware that the man is the one that positions where you go? So where you want to walk doesn't
Sometimes,
matter.
but I will still like. I had an issue with this with one of my relationships because he would say like, "Why are you behind me?" And I'd be like, "I like to be back here."
Yeah,
like,
I would be like,
I feel
I
comfortable
like
like
people behind me.
right
You don't-
behind
I'd be like,
my
you gotta
man.
go
Where you walk.
I don't know why.
You walk where I tell you to walk, or we ain't gonna be together.
Yeah, 'cause I can't protect you.
No, that's fine.
That would make me feel real uncomfortable. I'll be honest. I'll be like, yo, you
Well,
gotta
what
come
about
this
me?
out.
I feel uncomfortable like you just like
Nobody
walking
cares
right
what
behind
you
me.
feel. Your job is
Okay,
to be
so we
positioned
don't care
where
what
you're
you feel
supposed to be
either.
at, so a man can properly protect you, or you need to just stay single.
Well, I wouldn't be far away. I'm not like 10 steps behind him. I'm saying like I'm right behind
like
him.
You
Meaning,
don't
like
have a
if
say
he's
so on where
standing
you
right
walk when you're
here,
with a
I would
man.
be one body behind.
That's like in Islam, Islamic faith. They do that as well.
Well, I like it. It's a
But
preference, and
that's
it's just
No,
what I'm
not
sharing.
necessarily.
That's all.
I'm
not saying that it's
Muslim.
correct.
I'm Muslim too,
I'm
and
not
I was about
saying
to
it's
say
right.
not necessarily. I'm Muslim too, and not
Well,
necessarily.
You
I
don't
don't
have a
think
say
it's
so,
correct.
Carol.
I
when I
just
went to
prefer
Abu Dhabi, that was the rules there.
I
when
said
Oh,
I
okay, that's
prefer
good. Abu
to.
Dhabi
I
is
didn't
different.
say
You
it
don't
was
have a say
correct
so,
or
Carol. That's what we're
proper.
saying. It doesn't matter what you
And
prefer.
I'm saying it prefers for me in my circumstance, in my relationships,
What
or
type of
whatever
dudes do you
we're
date,
in.
Carol?
The ones that she
I
runs.
date who I like. Yeah.
Do
The
you
guys
mother
that
your
are
mother
nice.
your boyfriends? Do you have control? You tell them what to do and all that stuff?
Leave her alone.
No,
You know,
I do not like controlling men. I like to see what men do, and if I like what they do, then I'll
Yeah,
go
So
leave
for
when
her
it. If
men
I don't,
position you in
I'm
a certain
gone.
way, do you do that? Just a
Say
question.
that again. What was the question?
If you're walking down the street and a man
Yeah.
just slightly positions you here, or
Yeah, I have had that
do you-
happen on the sidewalk, on the side of the street. I walk on the inside. When they go like, oh,
Okay.
I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a
Okay,
problem with
that's
that.
cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah, leave her alone.
No big deal.
I'm gonna answer.
She's so triggered. Look at her. Look at her face.
Yeah, you get on my nerves.
You fucking
Is it,
triggered. Look
is
at
it
your
just me?
face.
Wait,
Look
is it
at
just
your
me?
face, yo.
Hey, Trigger Mike, is it just me or does she look like I love New York? Is it just
She
me?
do.
She looks like I love New York today, right? Is it just me that
You
thinks
should
that?
not say that.
She got a big mouth like that too.
Hold on. One, I want to say this. Coach K, I want to apologize for telling you to shut up. Okay, I said shut your ass up. That was a little too aggressive. You feel me? And with Lady Shan and Sean, I think Sean was wrong, even though he said he was playing, for telling her to shut up. Also.
I was really joking. I wasn't serious at all.
Yeah, I think you was joking.
No, you don't know if he was joking, MLG.
No, I was.
I don't have no reason to be
That's what
serious
I was
about
trying
that.
to say. I was
It
joking.
sounded
literally.
like he was joking.
It did sound serious. You could have just said be quiet, and even that would have been fine. MLG.
But that's why I wanted to apologize to Coach K, because we men just can't be just running around just yelling at women for no reason.
And I apologize for interrupting you a lot.
Okay.
Usually
not
I
a
try.
lot.
Well, I try to be like more, because it's hard sometimes on panels. You're naturally gonna interrupt, but then there are sometimes where I'm like, I'm just gonna keep saying it. But anyway,
Do
so
you
no,
get
I
what I'm saying,
apologize
Coach
too.
K? What you had did, it was kind of like messed up. Like,
Yes and no. Well,
it's okay.
Just say no.
no, in the sense but the only reason I like to make sure if I'm gonna if I am going to express something, I like to make sure that I have the facts or that I believe in what I'm about to explain. And I didn't want to come up with something that I just kind of remember or just, on a whim, because then
but it kind
my
of goes
argument
back
isn't
to
very
what we were
strong.
saying in the first section of the show about needing to be right. Facts.
I wasn't here for that.
Going to get the facts and coming back so you can have an argument. We're people. Like, this is not a courtroom. It's okay to be right or it's okay to be wrong. We can both be right. We can both. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is for you to just stop everything you did to go lead the show just so you can be right proves what we was talking about in the first part of the show.
Well, and I actually missed that because I was on another show, so I didn't even hear that. And I do agree with that because I know Kevin Samuels would talk about that, and I used to be really freaking bad about that. I would never apologize to my husband ever, but now I think I apologize way too much, to be honest. But the only reason I wanted to go back was because I wanted to be sure before, because I don't want to just throw things out if it's not even true. Like I said, my memory's trash, and I don't even care about being right at the end of the day. Go ahead.
Coach,
Go ahead.
Let's go. Let's get back to the conversation because I just don't want to make everything about me or you or whatever. Let's get back to the conversation.
No,
what
you're
are
good.
your thoughts on a man walking ahead of a woman walking down steps?
Yeah, you're good. So down the steps, I'm imagining he would be first, and the only reason I'm thinking that is, some people are saying if they fall, but also too, I'm imagining my guy being a shield almost. But I naturally just follow him. Like when we go into a restaurant, I know he's going to position where he can see the door, where he's not in a vulnerable position, where he has eyes on. That's just how, he's defensive like that. He's in the military. But I'm going to follow him. Plus, I don't like to be first because I'm really indecisive. Now, women are like that. I'm very indecisive. So I want him to lead. But then sometimes too, if I know where we are, if I'm familiar with the place, I'm like, hey, we're going to go here. It just depends. I kind of just naturally follow.
So the reason for this question in the card game is some men don't know these rules, right? So while you're playing the card game, it's small nuances of what a man is supposed to do. Because I've talked to women and they be like, well, all men don't know this. So parts of the card game is, a man, it's a question, but where does a man do this? Where does a man do that? So they can have a conversation about it. But all together, because women can't really tell men what to do. But if the card game is in there and they have a conversation about it, now the woman can say, well, actually, the man's supposed to walk on the outside. Because sadly, some men don't know. So when you're walking up the steps, the man walks behind the woman just in case she falls backwards. When they're walking down the steps, the man walks in front of the woman. So if she walks forward, women wear high heels, they can fall. When a woman is when a man is walking, When a man
if
and
you have
woman
a
walk
different-
down a parking lot, the man walks on the outside of her in the parking lot. But when y'all turn or whatever, the man has to reposition himself so he can be on the outside of her when they actually turn. Because a man always has to be in a position of not authority, but protection.
The danger, right?
This is why niggas don't want to be men now. You just made that shit sound exhausting as fuck.
Listen, it's not. It's supposed to be instinctual. It's supposed to be instinctual. That's supposed to be shit that you know.
No, but seriously,
That's supposed to be shit you know already.
This is why we're
Like
supposed to
grieving.
learn this stuff over a lifetime. This is why
Trigger Mike, I want to say this. One time, as an example, me and a woman were walking, right? And you know, I walked behind her. We're walking down the street, right? We walked into a parking deck. I already told her never walk into. You know how you walk into a parking deck and it'd be like an opening where you go into where the cars are or whatever. She walked in first. I was like, whoa, what you doing? You never walk into a new room like especially when it's a parking deck, not when, because it could be somebody breaking in the car. They look up, see her, shoot her. No, I walk into this new area first. So I take all this
the
shit.
woman behind you now.
But I don't know if y'all caught my show this week. I don't remember what show it was where I said that I have no idea why. But I think men built the world too well and we protect women too well to the point where they don't practice any level of vigilance ever. When I'm looking at women, like I go to like the grocery store, why are women always looking down? This is why burglars think and robbers think y'all are easy targets. Women are fiddling in their purse. They're playing with they're trying to corral the kids. They are in their phone, always looking down. This is why men naturally have to have their head up and their head on a swivel. Because you always looking down. That is how somebody says, go get that woman. She's not paying attention. Go get her keys. Go grab one of her kids. Like, look up.
Well, that's
called
called street smarts. So being from New York, I mean, ain't no way we looking down. You gotta look around. You gotta, move your path. Don't walk the same space every time. Like that's just street smarts.
I was gonna say, I say that to say that people that don't grow up in those areas where they got to learn those street smart. In fact, my wife is from Queens. She'll say some girls are airheads. They'll be in the train station late at 10.
But Queens is a little different than Brooklyn or like Queens.
I
Queens, the setup of Queens, depending on where you're at in Queens, is
or
more
the Bronx.
rural. More rural than Brooklyn.
But I think that also speaks to what Let Go is saying, where he says, because women who are from, like, let's say, protected areas, they don't have any level of vigilance, so they do things men wouldn't even do. Like, why are you gonna walk down that alley? I wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? It's dark. Like, because they don't practice any level of vigilance ever. So I think,
and it goes back to what I was saying as far as to me. That's why I say you got to pay attention to the nuances of a woman, like, because like, where is she doing? How is she walking? How is she thinking? And that's just my opinion. In order to protect her properly, you got to know what type of shit she be doing when she ain't around you.
Well, that's what you do in the vetting process. You shouldn't be doing that in a marriage. Like, you should know where she's moving. You should know her friends. Like, if you don't like her friends, don't marry her. Like, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Overall, this answer depends on the situation. Like, if we leaving out a club, I'm holding your hand and I'm pulling you behind me. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the situation. I mean, you asked a specific situation. You know what I mean? But it depends on the situation.
But women are children. They are going to walk on the middle of the road.
It's about nigga fatty.
Yeah, women are children. That's why you gotta protect them.
And good night to you guys. Because that's the thing, right? Women are children. They are going to do some dumb shit. They are going to walk around in the middle of the road. They are going to do whatever they do.
Stop.
No. I'm just saying that
he's gaslighting y'all. Just let him do it. Just let him do his thing.
How am I gaslighting? You said that women are children. What do children do? Children go to places that they shouldn't. They climb trees.
Gaslighting is when you go all over the place about a certain subject. But go ahead.
How is that? We're talking about women protecting women, right?
No, we're talking about men protecting women.
Where they walking?
Absolutely. Women are children. Children climb trees. They walk on the middle of the road. They do stupid stuff. So,
It's
not gaslighting. That's actually the point. So
you gonna come up here and interrupt the flow of the show also like Coach K was? Like, what are you doing, bro?
You know who Fatty is. You know who Fatty is.
By doing that, Mr. Let Go, you are interrupting the flow of the show. Don't do that, please.
So this is a petty party. So this is a petty party, in other words.
I like it. I'm down.
We know.
All right, anybody got anything left? I think, look, on some real stuff, let me bring the banner back up. If you have not, the discount code is in the chat. Please make sure you get Mr. Let Go's card game, Deeper Discussions, the dating edition. This is going to be dope. I'm going to order. In fact, I'm going to order 2 copies. I'm going to get this to some people because you say, I think these questions are going to piss some people off. And I love pissing the women off. And
intrusive ass questions.
Yeah,
Mr. Let Go, where was my discount code, sir? You didn't give me. You didn't
You're
give me
supposed to get the 50% off code.
I want my discount code.
This is women. This is
late.
women.
I'm gonna cash you $4.
We gotta get a special code.
Why can't you just support the brother and buy it at full price?
I'm
Support the
joking.
black
No,
man.
I gave him a tip. I'm joking. I was
I know.
You know what? My discount. Sorry.
Oh,
Lady Di was the first people that one of the first people who bought. Just so y'all know.
That's dope.
It's the funny ass super chats.
So the discount code is in the chat right now. Make sure y'all utilize that. It's time to get into the meat of the topic tonight, or the main topic is there is no reward in being a traditional woman. I actually chose this topic. I'm quite proud of myself. Yes, I do give myself pats on the back. I'm Nigerian. I'm arrogant like that.
I'll do that
All
now.
right. Stay tuned for the video, and then we're going to chop it up. Fatty, you going first on this one. Stay tuned.
Reward in being a traditional good woman anymore. If you are a traditional woman who's got no, pictures on Instagram, who isn't going out all day, every day, who isn't sleeping around and isn't getting lots of surgery and not putting on loads of makeup, and you're simple, just a traditional woman, there's no reward in that. You will never find a date. You'll never find a man that says, here, let me take you out. Here, let me do this. Whereas if you are the most promiscuous, provocative, dangerous woman, your DMs are endless and you are booked every single day of the week, and you get to choose which country you want to fly out to. So humans are going to look at where's the most reward, and they're going to lean towards the most rewarding and profitable, unfortunately.
Can I go first?
No,
I just said Fatty going first.
Ladies first. Ladies first. Go ahead, Mr. Let Go. It's fine. Go ahead.
Petty party. No, come on, go, Fatty.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Don't do
it.
Oh, go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Fatty.
Mr. Let Go. I got you.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man. Go.
Fatty's going
So now we're
first.
having a permission party. Somebody don't go first. God damn it.
Go ahead, Fatty.
No, it's fine. She.
Fatty.
Yeah.
Fatty.
Fatty. I got you. Don't worry.
I love that. Fatty.
Damn it. Damn.
Please go, Fatty.
Fatty.
I'm just gonna go real quick because Patty's not
Yeah,
going.
go ahead.
I actually agree with this. The majority of women are not traditional, but I will say with men's behavior, at least when they're younger. Now, when they're ready to wife up someone, yes, they want the traditional woman. But as far as, the woman that doesn't have any sleazy pics or whatever, I don't know. I don't think you guys are showing them attention.
What?
I don't know though. I could be off. What? I don't know.
It's subjective.
Hey, don't let niggas fool you. Every man loves sleazy pics. Don't let nobody lie to you.
Wait, hold on. Let's go on order. Because this
Pastor
is crazy.
loves sleazy pics.
I just got so much to say, but I'll
me too. But
The woman
we're gonna do it in the proper order. We're gonna start with Fatty. Go ahead, bro.
The woman on the video is absolutely right. She can do all of that during the 20s, get flied out, get all the parties, get all the invitations, go to all the clubs, get all that she wants. And because she looks pretty good, at 30, there will be a sucker ready to wife her, and she get the double life. She can get both worlds, and she can still get saved by a sucker on the end of the road. So she's actually right. She's being realistic. What we talk about is women shouldn't do that. They shouldn't, but they can get away because there's an enormous amount of suckers that will be willing to save her in the end of the rainbow. That's the reality. She shouldn't do that, but she, a woman that is away from Instagram, a woman that is away from scandally clad clothing, and she will not have the same amount of fun, the same amount of experience, the same amount of whatever she wants to do when she was younger than a woman that is out there. It's like hiding a Louis Vuitton bag behind the wall or below the bed. Nobody sees it. It might be a Louis Vuitton bag, but if you don't see it, nobody's going to pick you. But if it's in front on the window shop, everybody's going to want to get it, and everybody's going to take you for a walk. There's a reality. I know it's kind of controversial on this place, but there's a woman are rolling right now, and we'll be suckers if we wouldn't admit that women are doing that all the time.
Fatty for president.
Good analogy.
Not president.
Coach K, do you want to add to your previous answer? Who the hell keeps
What
No,
is
that's
that?
okay. No, it's okay.
Oh.
That was solid.
What's that
All right,
horrible
Lady Shay,
noise?
we're gonna go to you. We're gonna go to you. All right. There's no reward in being a traditional woman. What are your thoughts?
Who are you going to me?
Yes.
Okay. Shouts out, Fatty. That was a good analogy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I agree. When you see the plain Janes, whatever that is in your eyes, whatever's a plain Jane, I don't know. Everyone's got different criteria. No, they're not going to be invited to all the parties. They're not. They're not going to be. But who cares about being flued out? I don't. I'm never into that anyway. Why people want to be flued out? But yeah, you're not at the front. But men like what men like. You guys want traditional, but what you do are attracted to. It's visual. Let's just have it right. Something that's plain, you're not going to know that it's got the best traits until you court her or date her. But off the rip, you might not even be attracted to her straight away because she's plain. But the other girl that's a bit whatever, attractive, glossy, yeah, she's going to have different experiences. She's going to have different opportunities that will be presented to her. Whether people like it or not, that's just the facts. And do you know what I mean? And the man will like a plain Jane, but no disrespect, half of you lot cheat with the girl that is the glossy one. So, stand by.
The glossy one. I like it. All right. I forgot to read the super chats. Let me get those in there. I'll get those right now, and then we'll continue with Carol. Marcus Evans, $2. Hyena Chan at it again.
I'm back in the booties.
Congo English, $20. Coach K, understand who you are talking to. Let go, love interaction on any level. He feeds off that, especially if he considers you competition, free advertisement via Let Go. John the Baptist, $5. In Eastern culture, the men are the most important in culture and family. Marcus Evans, $5. Mr. Let Go or Sean, just give Hyena Chan a mouth hug to feel better. Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. This is where you
all good. She doesn't know what mouth hug means.
Not that again.
It don't work. Well, it doesn't work. But carry on sending your money because I make you guys
are you saying
money.
Mouth hugs don't work?
Nothing works. Nothing.
Damn. Okay. John the Baptist, $5. Coach K, stand on your principles. You were right and Let Go was wrong. Chike Auto LLC, $5. What is wrong with the Jackie Chan? You can't be on a public panel and disrespect people with your greased face. Jackie Chan, apologize to Sean now.
Oh God! You want it to be dry?
Fancy, $2. You missed the super chat of how Shan looked, not how good Shan looks. Damn, I'm gonna go find that. I didn't miss it on purpose. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I didn't star him before. I'm gonna blame somebody else. I'm gonna blame production. They're starring them for me. I love it when you call me Big Papa Smurf. Foreign currency. I apologize for Shan. I'll set her straight later. Y'all think this is a dude on the low.
He loved me. He loved me. I love him back now. I'm used to him.
You better check that if you got a stalker for real. For real. It's 2023. This dude is literally looking through your window. $5. The question is situational. Men have to determine the threat level and how he can handle it. Take $2. I almost thought this was Fight Club. Me too. That's why I went and got a margarita. Maestro Stevens, $20. Shout out to one of my faves in networks and panels. Keep kicking this knowledge. Thank you for that. Black God, $5. Mr. Let Go needs to go. Laughing my freaking ass off. Derek T, $10. Y'all got my guy Fatty in the building. Gary Boy, $2. Chan, have a toxic, it's nasty, you out of order. My man King Spark, $10. Listening to that lady gonna get y'all women kidnapped.
Which lady?
I think it was you, honestly.
No, I didn't mention anything about it. I said,
I don't know. I'm just blaming you.
You stop tricking.
I'm blaming you. Oh no, I'm sorry. The lady in the video, the last video about traditional women.
Exactamente.
Milton M, $5. Everything reward she mentioned in that video. The only reward she didn't mention was getting chosen for marriage. Black
Yeah.
God, $2. Hyena. Chan is fine as fuck. Stop it. All right.
See, they like them feisty.
I didn't know hyenas were fine. I thought they were pests.
No,
They like
hyenas are
feisty
the ugliest
hyenas.
animals.
Exactly.
I don't even like using the term because I'm like hyenas are ugly.
Yeah, you guys love
Yeah.
using it. You lot do use the term, and you lot propel the term and perpetrate the term. If you don't want it used, stop using it. And when
perpetrate.
I was
Yeah, I
joking.
don't know what word she just
I'm
trying to use.
perpetrate, perpetrate, my bad.
Perpetrate.
My bad, perpetrate. When people
Perpetrate?
use it, you should shut them down. Then, and then maybe
No, I was joking. I'm still gonna use that shit. I'm sorry. It's
Okay.
actually contextually, it's the perfect thing for to use for what we're trying to say. But
Okay, but hyenas are not pretty. So
God
if
damn
it's
it, let me
something that you're
moderate the
trying-
show, Lady Chan.
Oxymoron.
You English, y'all do think y'all better than Americans, huh?
No, we don't.
Oh Lord.
How do what you said that on the last show? Well, I
No, I
don't.
didn't.
That's
You
your
lying.
own
You got your
insecurities.
black people mixed up. Stop it.
That's your own insecurities.
Arrow, there is no reward in being a traditional woman. What are your thoughts?
Okay, that statement by itself, I feel like okay, they have to be a reward because there's a pros and cons to every subject. But what she was talking about in context was like getting dressed up, getting fancy, getting dates, having nice adventures, experiences, and I feel like okay, on that part she's right because if you want to be courted more or get more attention, because basically when you have good looks and sex appeal, you're going to get more attention from men, you're going to get more offers and dates. And that's correct. If you're plain Jane, you're not going to get as much. I know some plain Jane, I have some plain Jane
You say
friends.
offers of dicks?
And I did not say nothing like this.
Oh,
What are
okay.
you talking about?
That's what it is, though.
Stop perpetuating.
Okay. Oh, yeah, are you doing? Anyway, so back to what I was saying. If you're plain Jane, I know that at some point in your life, you might feel like you're missing out or feeling a little lonely or not getting any attention because you're not overly expressive and doing too much as far as dressing and makeup and nails and whatever. So I can see that aspect. She's right. But no, there's still a reward. It's just not the same rewards. Everybody's not the same. So if you're plain and that's how you are naturally and you feel comfortable and happy like that, then you're going to get different rewards. You might not go to Dubai, but you might get a house and a husband and 3 kids and life insurance.
Wait,
and you know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
And
One mic, y'all.
something, there are other rewards. So that's all.
Can she retire?
Come on, fatty.
Say that,
No,
can
ask
she
a question.
retire?
Yeah, can she retire from flying out to Dubai and get a house, 3
No,
kids?
yeah,
husband
but
and
we're just talking
Pennsylvania?
about being. You remember, people are who they are. So if I'm a woman that is very plain, simple, I don't do too much, I don't wear loud colors, I don't do too much of my hair, I don't wear weave, I don't get loud colors on my nails. That's who you are, that's who you identify and you feel comfortable with being. Don't change because you see all these girls wearing stiletto heels and long nails and weave extensions. You're like, I'm gonna go get weave. No, be yourself. But you're going to have your wins and your losses, just like they're going to have their wins and losses. When they have to deal with all those men, they're going to get fucked over too. Like men will come and be all smiling in your face and do some bullshit too, or like put you in situations you don't want to be in. So in the end of the day, they are cons to those situations. So even though she might say, oh, there's no incentive, it's no being traditional, but guess what? The incentive is you won't be going through all those bullshits that those girls that are fancy are going through with all those men that are inviting them to dates, like maybe them leaving them there, or like I don't know what their attitude is like, but if a man takes you on a date and don't pay and this is like a large bill or some weird shit, like things happen and people are crazy. So there's pros and cons to both sides. So she's only talking about the good stuff.
And therein lies the issue, right? So there is no reward in being a traditional woman. That's the biggest lie ever told, right? Yeah. But let's explore the rewards for being a promiscuous woman. Well, that's how kind of women get the highest STD rate. Well, that's kind of how women get the most single mother pregnancies, the single mothers. That's how women get used and abused and taken advantage of, and all men want is sex. That's how women be alone with that box wine at night and be drinking and wishing they had a
The
man.
box wine,
Yeah, the box
Franzia.
wine. The box wine. You know they fond of the
Franzia.
box wine. The
I
box
like the
wine.
box wine though.
The
Don't
good
put the box
Yeah,
wine.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like box wine.
Yeah, that good. I told you they love box wine. I don't know why, but they love box wine. It's the cheapest shit ever, but they love box wine and booms for them. But anyway, so that's how they be up there with that glass of box wine. You know what I'm saying? And be alone. And if you think you're lonely now, that's why they be saying that shit, because the price of wasting your youth and being promiscuous and getting flown out and getting entertained by all these dudes after it's all stretched out and worn out and you got all these babies and you got all these STDs and everything like that is, yeah, it's a shelf life to your beauty. It's a shelf life to your body elasticity. It's a shelf life to that stuff. And so at the end of the day, you end up with nothing. So you don't end up with nothing. So the reward of being a traditional woman is you're gonna find a man is gonna find you who's gonna treasure you, who's gonna value you, who's gonna see you for you, and not just what your fake hair, your fake breast, your fake weave, your fake butt, your fake eyelashes. And he's gonna see you for who you are, appreciate who you are, and he's gonna marry you and he's gonna take care of you. That's the reward for being a traditional woman.
Can I just
that other stuff that people talking about?
Israel, so why is being a traditional woman correlated being looking plain? Is there no? So you're trying to say, is there no like good-looking traditional women?
It is, but wait a minute, Shan. So you're conflating because the question was so I'm actually answering the question. The question was there is no reward in being a traditional woman. That was the actual question that I'm answering, right? And so that woman conflated it and said, oh, well, if you're traditional, you're just plain Jane and la la la. I'm not saying that. I don't think that if you're traditional, you have to be plain Jane. At the same time, I don't think that you have to wear all this fake stuff and you have to put on this mask and you have to put on this facade for someone to choose you.
No, that's not to be chose. I guess like some women, they're depending on their jobs or depending on what they do, they may have to wear makeup and may have to adhere to some kind of visual look, whether it be corporate or entertainment. I don't know if that takes away from their traits. There's a lot of women that are corporate, wear wigs, weaves, makeup, but they're traditional, or they're entertainers, but they're traditional. They may not be, but I just was understanding the correlation of, you know, you can't be who you are, but yet you're not traditional.
No, but I was going according to what she said. She
Yeah,
was
the
the one
lady
that
was
said
saying
it.
that.
She was the one that said it, and that was her definition of what fancy is, and that was her definition of what a hot girl is by her own admission, right? And she was saying promiscuous, and she was saying doing this and doing that. That's what the woman literally said. So I was just going off the question and answering it according to what she said.
Yeah, got you. Thanks, Iz.
Hey, so look, for some reason, traditional has a negative connotation to it, and I don't necessarily get it. So, say for instance, me being in the South, the women in the South, generally speaking, from my experience, are much more traditional. They cater to their men, and they believe in gender roles, you know, that our grandparents or whatever believed in. And so, I absolutely think you can be traditional. And you can be exactly what a man needs. You can be what all you high-value niggas on YouTube talk about. I need you to be my piece. I need you to be a helpmeet and all this shit. And so, yeah, you can absolutely be traditional. I'm not going to over-talk it, but there is a benefit to being traditional.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lady Doc.
I don't know why being traditional has anything to do with like being a plain Jane. And plain Jane to me, plain Jane is just like you don't wear makeup, right? You don't wear wigs, weaves, but how is that bad? So if we want to talk about ladies who are natural and they don't know how to do their hair, they don't know how to make sure they look presentable, then that's different. That means that she needs to go work on that and be the best version of herself. But I hate when I hear not y'all, but people make that like you don't look good because you're plain Jane. Guess what? I'm plain Jane, right? I don't wear makeup. I don't do all that, but I'm considered a plain Jane, I guess. If that makes sense, but not really, because I wasn't all the way like that from before. It's just now I'm a mom. I don't got time to be doing all that. So now I just figure out how to make myself look, you know, the best way I can. So, because when I gotta go, I gotta go. I don't gotta, you know, put on all of these things, but that's just me. But traditional I guess if you're talking about traditional, you think of, okay, natural, and she's cooking and cleaning and all of those things. I mean, I think those traits are good. There's no way women today are traditional. Why? Because we grew up in this society of, doing all the modern things. So you learn to be traditional, and then naturally it just comes out that way. As far as being promiscuous or you just being out there dating and wearing provocative clothes, yes, you are going to get attention from men, but it's not going to be like the best attention. So you could be out there, because in order for you to get married anyway, you have to be out there somehow, right? Not saying you're out there just messing around, but you have to be seen. You have to just be a presence that men are not normally seeing. So if you one of those ladies who are wearing these clothes, try to wear less of it. Like, make sure that you cover up a little bit. Don't be all out there, because then they're going to confuse you with the hoes versus the wife. So you still got to be smart. Like, don't be dressing like that. You still got to dress like you trying to be a wife. At the same time, I don't believe women staying in the house. They're so traditional, trying to do it the right way. A man is going to come find me. No, you gotta be out there. You cannot hide and think a man is going to come because you asked God for it. Like, it don't work like that. You gotta be pretty, right? You gotta look good. You gotta, smell good, talk, be feminine. These men are gonna come and pull you along. In traditional, like I said, some of that stuff is not gonna come because we weren't taught that. But when you get the right man, that submissive stuff is gonna kick in right away. Not saying that the man has to be all the way correct with it, but you still have to learn how to be feminine and be submissive. And that man is gonna, marry you for that.
Solid. Let go.
Ladies, the key to life is to not get to the 30th dick. If y'all keep running around wanting to get all this attention, you're going to run into the 30th dick. And when you run into the 30th dick, you're just going to have to sit down with yourself and say, God damn, I'm on a 30th dick. And I want you to just sit there with yourself and realize that you're only 34 or 32 or whatever, and you got a whole life to live. So that means you're going to be on your 40th dick and possibly your 50th dick. And if you are or you have, guess what that means? You are a failure in life. Because out of all these men, because you run around trying to get all this damn attention, talking shit about traditional women or plain Janes, guess what? Plain Jane ain't been ran through. The plain Jane or traditional woman actually has her mind together. You are not supposed to get ran through by all these different men. Do you realize how hard it is? Like, you're hardwired to want to be in a relationship. And when you go against your own nature, you now have to go against your own nature for the rest of your life. Because at some point, your nature actually changes. So now nurture is in the way of nature. And that's the reason why modern women are so screwed up, because they've been nurtured by social media, nurtured by all these other dumbass women. And now they don't go by their natural nature anymore. They're nurtured by the world. So altogether, I have no problem with plain Janes. I have no problem with women who have, held themselves away from all the attention. Because like Lady Di said, if you put on a wig and you put all this dumb shit on, you put some stupid shit in your ass, you're naturally going to want to go out and show it off. We get a new car, we get a new watch. Now we kind of like want to go show it off. So if you add some dumb shit in your ass, you're naturally going to want to show somebody your ass. So we men want women who ain't putting all this bullshit on or inside of in their bodies. So my last point is this. You got to look at yourself like a car. I know women look at this, that's misogynistic, but you got to look at yourself like a car. The less owners the car has, and the less foreign parts the car has, the more valuable the damn car is.
And the less mileage.
And less miles, especially. Yeah.
If you ask me, or a new bumper to the
Carfax, fellas. Check the
guess
Carfax.
what? The car's trash now.
Collision. No collision.
Let me just say something real quick, because it's funny that on the other show you were saying to men on their 30s to date single mothers and all that. You were literally telling, if you are this age and you are this, you should date women that have kids. So you are no. One second. I remember on the conversation. When we. Can I finish?
Let him finish.
I remember on the conversation when you guys were talking. Go ahead, Mister. Let's go.
Let Fatty speak. Go ahead, Fatty. Go ahead.
I just said I never said that. That's it.
So you never said on this on this panel, you never said that men of a certain age should date women, should take women off the streets. I remember the verbiage. You said that. One second.
You can't ask me a question.
Let me finish my point. Can I finish my point? You can correct. No, you can correct. You can correct me after I finish. You literally said for the betterment of these kids, because I remember it was a story about a 13-year-old Robin and being deleted. For the betterment of these kids, men of a certain age should save these women because they are children and it's for the betterment of the kids, right?
I simply said.
Then I didn't finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So you actually are incentivizing men into saving these women that you say nobody wants, the 29 bodies and up, right? You are literally telling by your own mouth that are men that are going to be there and they are going to get all these women that are 29 bodies and up. So
are you done?
I did know when Mr. Legdo, I have a mouth. When I'm done, I will tell you I'm done. So
First
you are
of all,
literally.
pause. You don't tell a man that you have a mouth.
Pause. Pause.
In my country, we don't talk like that,
Let's
sir.
just let him finish.
Yeah. Let him
Let
get
go.
to the
We don't talk like that in our country, sir.
Mr. Let Go, you are interrupting the show
like
and
that.
disturbing the show. You should let me, because you are disturbing the show. You are putting the show on
Just
the
don't
side.
say anything about
You
your
shouldn't do
mouth.
that, right? So again, you actually a few months or weeks ago,
So
you were
just gonna
literally
repeat what you just said again?
Trigger Mike, I'm sorry, man.
You're just going to repeat what you said again. I can just go ahead and respond.
It seems like not only women are children. Go ahead, Mr. Let Go.
Okay.
Damn.
In order for, because Anton was like, get rid of these women out of here. And I said, the only way we can fix our society is to get these women off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't say for men to actually do that. I'm just saying it's something that's needed. Whether men do it or not, I don't run around telling what people should do or shouldn't do. I'm just sharing my perspective. And the bottom line is, if we don't get these women out the streets and they little pookie babies up under a man, somehow, somewhere, our society is going to crumble because it's It's too many children out here who don't have fathers. Whether a man should do it or not, because I look at the term should, I'm not going to talk no other man into doing anything because his life is different. The reason why I have no problem with dating a woman that has kids, because my kids are grown. So if a man doesn't have kids, of course I'm not going to say go get with a woman who got kids. So context matters. So I'm just, can I freaking finish? I'm simply saying that I did not say that statement because without context, that shit sounds crazy.
You prove my point. There will be men at the end of the line that will save these women, and you are one of them because you date women with kids. And again, women with kids I'm not going to say all because a lot of them are conservative and they save themselves.
Yeah.
But most of them are ran through. So, Mr. Let Go, congratulations. You
so.
proved my point. You literally proved my point.
It depends on the age of the kid. It depends on what the woman is
how many. It depends on how many.
Depends on the son.
Hold on, y'all. Because if a kid, if a woman has like 16-year-old,
All right, one mic.
Hold on, y'all.
It's married women.
Hold on. If a woman has a 16-year-old, that means she did some shit 16 years ago.
Yes, and how many
look
bodies?
at her and say she's trash because she did something 16 years ago? Now she has a 2-year-old and a 16-year-old. Now she don't redid her own dumb shit and she ain't learned from shit. Now that's different.
You are making my point. Some man is going.
Sir, we gotta move on.
I got you. I got you. You are not. You are not the moderator. You are not the moderator. I see Trigger Mike. You are not the moderator.
Go ahead, Precious.
Are proving the
Can you
point.
let Precious talk? Thank you. Go ahead, Precious.
I'm sorry, Miss Let Go.
Just mute out, sir.
He called you Miss.
So Fatty made a point earlier when I believe he was the first to go on this point, and he was saying how the traditional woman sometimes is like that thing that, you know, is thrown underneath of the bed and nobody really sees her. Whereas the promiscuous woman, everybody sees her. But my thing is with being a traditional woman is a reward. You know, I don't know if most traditional women don't need approval by the world or by society. They know who they are. They don't need all of that. So it's a burnout for the women who are promiscuous, who are needing that, you know, confirmation or validation from society. So there's definitely a reward in being a traditional woman, but that reward, you know, is kind of hidden inside of you. And it comes out, you know, when you're serving your family, when you're raising your children, when your children want to come back home after you done raised them and, you know, say hi to you and, you know, take care of you if you're sick. So that's the true reward. Anything else, anything less than that is just, you know, you're existing.
Right.
I just don't understand if glossy means that you're
Can I say?
glossy means that you're ran through, like that you can't look a certain way, but you don't still have standards that you're not promiscuous. I don't know why that's
because that's the example. That's the example that the woman gave on the actual video. She said, as you said, glossy and promiscuous, right? And she said that that's the reward of you getting this. But this is the thing, or you'll be on that Freaknik video 30 years later asking Jesus to be a fence to cover your you know what I'm saying, to cover your Freaknik activity. See, that's what happens, right? When you're out here, you're out in the streets. That's the reward you get. You need Jesus to be a fence to cover your Freaknik activity.
That's valid. So let's do let's do the reverse, right? Are you guys covering the Steven Crowder story? Today they got a video. Yes, Steven Crowder, the conservative pundit. Today they got a video of his wife of 8 months being verbally abused by him. Right?
8 months.
Yeah.
Yes, of twins, right? So basically, she got married virgin on her 20s, gave herself to a man that was Christian and conservative, gave all her youth to him, and he was literally abusing her. And now she got divorced. I covered the story because I thought she was the evil doer. But now that we're seeing the videos, actually was the one that was the abuser on the relationship. So one second. The same way I agree with you, right? A woman that is going to be around is going to get a lot of trauma on her 20s. But now imagine that you do everything that is right, right? You marry a virgin on your 20s, you waste your youth with that man, and all of a sudden that man flips on you, and now you're looking at the past. Oh shit, I'm not beautiful anymore. I'm 32. I have 2 kids on the hook, and now I need to go and call Mr. Let Go because I need to be saved. Do you think that's not a problem? There's actually a big problem because we assume that all men are good leaders and all good men are competent. Or all men are competent. In reality, most of us shouldn't be on a position of leading nothing. Not even our wives or our nothing.
I would say that's the way it's actually always been. Is that very few men are supposed to have their bloodline continued. I don't think a lot of women realize that they're not supposed to be procreating with men that don't have, certain things. Yes, there have always been abusive men and such, but let me give my whole answer on this because this is an excellent topic. So the topic again, for those of you in the chat, please make sure to get those likes up. We're at 498. I need 2 more, all the way up to 500 right now. In fact, get it all the way up to 600. We got a bomb panel tonight. Let me give my answer to this. There is no reward in being a traditional woman. I disagree. But first, I'd like to talk about promiscuous women. Being a promiscuous woman is similar to being a crackhead. Everything you do is for short-term reward. Everything you do is for short-term reward. It seems like, I'm going to paraphrase or rephrase that. It seems like there is no reward for being a traditional woman. If I was to rewrite it, that was the way I would say it. There seems like that because there isn't really a short-term reward that you could name for it. But there is no greater long-term reward. There is no greater long-term reward. Because what you'll look at, if we can use Black China as an example, all promiscuous women come back trying to reclaim their virtue once they realize the value of it. Because their value decreases with time. So if society can't teach you, if your mama can't teach you, if your daddy can't teach you, time will teach your ass. All of them come back trying to patch up all the wounds and all the wrongs they've done because they realize the value of their virtue and they can no longer get it back, right? That born again, that's some bullshit. They can't get it back, right? So if we look at it from a statistical standpoint, there is absolutely a reward for being a traditional woman. Traditional women are the women that men choose for marriage. Yes, a few 304s squeak in there, but the large majority of them are traditional women. Traditional women own homes. They do. They own pretty much all the wealth around the world. You can't match them. Everything gets inherited by traditional women. Even a father or a family or a great uncle or a great aunt will leave it to the traditional child, not the child that's cutting up. That's why that woman owns everything. When everyone dies, including the men, they leave it to the traditional woman. She is the richest person in the world who never built nothing. So there is absolutely a reward in being a traditional woman. It is just long term.
Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton want to have a conversation with you, Mike. After they're
the exceptions.
They're
the exceptions.
Nobody has proved that the traditional woman is getting the money. It's allegations.
Yes, we do.
Nobody has
Hey, what about look at the people? What about Jeff Bezos' wife?
What she did? Like you literally had the side bitch.
She literally got like mad billions of dollars, right?
So
she literally got paid a king's ransom.
So you are traditional if you allow your man.
Traditional to own your home.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say own your home. That's Trigger Mike.
That's normality. You said traditional women own their home.
What I'm saying is, married people own homes. It's literally what married people do. Very significant, very small amount of single people own homes, which is actually the wealth builder here in the States.
I don't know. Maybe it might be different in America. I don't know, but a lot of people here in the UK, whether you're single or not, we got a mortgage.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm very happy for you. But over here, it's the married people.
Go get in trouble.
Be happy. You should be happy for your black.
9% of men own homes as their primary residence, and only 14% of single women own homes as their primary residence.
In America.
Hey, yo, but is it just me, or was Warren Buffett's wife a baddie? Was Bill Gates' wife a baddie?
The mistress.
Hold on.
On vacation every month.
Listen, if you worth billions of dollars, you could probably have one too. But what I'm telling you is the women, like Trigger Mike is saying, that they marry, that they choose to have a family with, are going to be traditional women. They're not going to be the baddies. The baddies are just going to be the side piece.
But that's the point. The side piece. What Jeff Bezos literally got married or is in a relationship with the side piece. She's winning.
She's not winning. The wife got all the money. The wife got half the money.
I got you. The woman that was Bill Gates' girlfriend, and then they had an arrangement. She's winning. She had a lump sum of money every year, being take care.
Did she win more than the wife win? Did she win more than the wife though?
She got all the benefits without being.
Did she win more than the wife won?
Here's how I would combat that, Fatty. Here's how I combat that. Why do you think the side piece always comes for the main joint's role? Because she got to live in the dark.
Because woman, actually no, because women want what they don't have. If they are side piece, they want to be the married woman. If they are the married woman, usually they are on Instagram window shopping, saying, "Oh my God, Lady Cheney's on Dubai today, and I'm here in Pennsylvania." That's how women are. They usually want what they don't have. It's not because he's better. They just want to be promoted, and then when they are promoted, they say, "Shit, I shouldn't be here." That's what's happened usually.
Hey, look.
Who hurt you, Fatty? Who hurt you?
Okay.
Who hurt you?
Now look.
Wow.
The modern women let's not act like we don't be running through them though. In the meantime, there's benefits long term, like y'all said about being traditional. But we give some action to the modern women too. Let's not even cap though. Want to make sure that that's clear.
Most of us are going to marry a modern woman. We are just here trying to. Most of us.
Speak for yourself, Fatty. Speak for yourself, Fatty.
Okay,
speak for yourself.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, because that's the thing, right? Israel, do you think your ex-wife or the mother of your kids stopped fucking after she left you? No, she's doing what she does.
No, she
like
did.
us man.
She don't have no other kids by nobody else. I tell you that much.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Woman be fucking. Either be
have
modern,
no other kids by
traditional.
nobody else. I tell you that damn much
I guarantee you, if my dad dies tomorrow,
the only one.
My mom is going to be right on the market again. I'll guarantee you, and that's my mom.
Fatty. Listen, I'm the only one, Fatty. Fatty, I'm the only one. She never had another kid, Fatty.
All your exes are still going to be having sex with other people. Until they're not.
Don't make me try to expose my hand on this network. I'm be quiet. I'm arresting my masculinity.
That is the truth, what he's saying.
All right.
Life goes on.
Did everybody get a chance to go on this question? Because I got to follow up.
Yeah.
Now that we've talked about what the traditional woman, what's going on with the traditional woman, everybody gave good points on that. In 20 years, what does the modern non-traditional woman's life look like? Anybody jump in?
Non-traditional.
Who knows? It could be anything.
Have we seen Corinne Steffens? Anyone? Have you seen? Wait, have we seen? Oh, wait, what about Brittany Renner? Have we seen Brittany Renner?
Brittany, Kim Kardashian.
Shout out to Brittany Renner.
We have examples of
Yeah, she ain't doing that great, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, no, let me.
Alexis Sky.
Yeah,
let me give you a better example.
Oh, Black China. Have we seen Black China? Anyone?
Black China, Alexis Sky.
Let me give you
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. Anyone?
Amber Rose.
Look, friends, let me give you a better example. Bill Gates' ex-wife, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
They're billionaires.
They're not relatable. I just feel like they're not relatable.
They're billionaires with a B.
But look, think about this though, right?
They're not relatable.
He said in 20 years. So think about what happens 20 years from now. My daughter is 16, right? This generation is the things they value. The things that they value is different from what we value. They value marriage less than we value marriage. You feel me? Okay. They come from the quote unquote 304 culture. They're social media culture. Their identity, their validation is all tied to social media and things like that. They don't have that sense of traditionalism like we do to the degree that we do. So when you answer this question, you may want to think about the context of the people who will really be in the dating game and looking to get married 20 years from now. So just, you know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind.
But okay, so are we gonna act as if? And again, I don't know about any alliances. I'm just keeping it real, right? Are we gonna act as if we didn't see Brittany Renner have a whole breakdown about her dating possibilities? Are we gonna act like we didn't see Taraji P. Henson have a breakdown about her? Are we gonna act like we didn't see Vivica Fox? Vivica Fox have a breakdown? Yo, it doesn't look pretty 20 years from now when you're a woman who's just been out there. It don't look pretty. It's not gonna
I wanna ask, like, after watching all of these women, Vivica Fox, all these women, just to the ladies, how do y'all feel about y'all's lives? Because it easily looks like if y'all don't get y'all shit together, y'all gonna be just like them, just looking stupid. Like just the thought, just looking at the women.
Let go, got no filter.
Y'all.
Yeah, I didn't say it like that. I tried to
like, damn, I need to get my shit together because I'm gonna end up looking stupid like Vivica Fox. Like, I'm just asking. Because none of these women got, none of the women that we grew up watching got men, except for like 2 of them.
And these was the so-called hot woman of our time.
Angela Bassett.
These were the so-called sex symbols of our time too.
That's not one of them is Angela Bassett. It's probably one more that's married.
They'll find their stuff with Steve Harvey. That's what they'll do. Just like
there are not enough Steve
like
Harvey.
some of you lot
There's only one cornball.
Not enough Steve Harvey.
But we have great examples. We have Alicia Keys.
Some of you not become a Steve Harvey just without the money. Like what Fatty says, you lot will be dating those women anyway in 20 years, 10 years.
No, I'm not dating no ex-hoe.
So whatever they do is whatever
Y'all gotta remember, I'm the person that said I'm a meticulously find out who the hell you are and look through your past and all the other shit.
How do you know?
How
do you know I fucked your your future wife in Ibiza in 1999? How do you know?
Old motherfuckers keep
talking.
I can easily find out.
No. Hey, Sean. Actually, no, tell us. Lisa, let go. Tell us. How do you know your future wife didn't fuck Raul in Ibiza in 2017?
Raul?
Yes. How do you know? Is a Spanish name. How do you know your future wife didn't fuck Raul when she went on a vacation in Ibiza in 2017? How?
Well, I look at
That's one body.
I look at signs of trauma. So I
All
don't
kinds of trauma. An Ibiza bracelet.
You smell tacos on it, fam? What's going on? Like,
how do you know?
I can smell it on. I can smell it on her. I can smell trauma on a woman. I can. Yeah, it's like. It's really.
What does trauma smell like? What does trauma smell like?
Hey, Lisa, let's go. Does the trauma smells different if she has 7 bodies or 23? Is like ice cream trauma smell, and then a 28.
I give you a list. How she walks, how she blinks, her body language. Like there's a lot of different things that actually affect you body wise.
So let's do this.
Hold on. Have you ever read the word? I mean, have you ever read the book? What's the name of the book? The Body Keeps Score.
I only watched.
Read a book called The Body Keeps Score. It's an actual thing. Trauma is is physical. It's not just in your brain. It's in your body.
So let's test. Let's go. How does a woman that has 27 bodies walks compare with a woman that has 62 bodies walks? How? Explain to us, please.
Ow.
I just explained it. So
yeah, but
you have a propensity to repeat yourself.
No, Mr. Let go.
I just answered it, sir.
Humble and dumb.
We can kind of like move on because I just answered it. Just rewind the video. I just answered it.
How do you spot this? Because I want to learn.
How about you read a book? I
only watch movies.
What's the last book you read, Fatty? Fatty, what's the last book you read?
Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone.
All right, cool. So read a book called The Body Keeps Score, and you'll understand it. You don't have to hear from me. Go get from a book. Remember, I told you I don't know nothing.
You are deflecting.
I don't know nothing, Fatty. I don't know nothing, Fatty. I'm not right or nothing.
If that's what you learned from that book is trash, bro. But look, real talk, that book is trash. But
did you read it?
Dig this, right?
Did you read it though?
Nah, that shit trash, bro. What you said was trash, nigga. If that's the main idea of the book, nigga,
explain to us. I'm done.
Okay.
What is happening? Is this just because I'm here?
Arguing with niggas that don't read books is not.
What happened? Is it because I'm here?
No, but that's the like this. Let go. Don't deflect.
Arguing with niggas who don't read books. I'm not gonna argue with niggas who don't read books.
I got a whole bunch of books right beside me.
Can you teach us, please?
Just because we can read.
So all y'all just gonna talk at the same time? Like
you are going to talk. I want to learn. Can you teach us how to detect trauma by the smell, please?
That shit goofy. The author is goofy.
No, right?
Believes that shit is a goofball.
It doesn't. Please, Mr. Let Go. Teach us. How does a woman that has 62 bodies walks?
Hey, right. So look, they not walking on this panel. Can you detect how many bodies they got though? Because you said it's
I'm not in front of the women on this panel.
It's the way. Teach us your moves, man. What did the book tell you?
At Trigger Mike, I want to leave, sir. I want to leave.
Yeah,
I can't take
the answer is no.
Israel just wants to like fade to the.
This is crazy. I want to just be like,
no, you can pick it out.
Right. It's just getting stupid.
Let's go.
Y'all done being stupid or what?
No, we are waiting for the teachings of the sage Mr. Let's Go. How does a woman that has 67 bodies
let's move on, sir. Like,
why are you deflecting? I'm asking for a man that was
who has, as he ponders on your answer, who hasn't answered this? Chan, in 20 years, I want to know, because you are in the UK. I think there are a lot of similarities between the problems going on in the US and the UK. So I want to know what you think the non-traditional woman's life looks like in 20 years on your side.
I agree with what you guys say. It's evolution. It's either going to evolve where you're going to get more traditional because people are going to revert back to original type, or it's going to evolve even worse and surpass where we are now, or stay the same. We do have some of the same issues in the UK, but I was just sitting there trying to think about, like the thoughts, the well-known thoughts that we can see that were thoughts, and then they're now trying to not be thoughts. I don't know any UK versions. We don't have any famous UK versions. So the only versions that we're seeing, unfortunately, is from Black US women at some point. So that's the only reference that I have with it going left and then they want to go right. So until then, I was just literally sitting there thinking, what UK equivalent women? Because they're thoughts. I'm not saying there's no thoughts, but I'm saying like of Angela White level or Kim Kardashian. We just don't have that. I can't think of any reference. So it's either going to go good or bad. It's a 50-50. I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus, so I don't know.
Bruh, listen to me. Look, now real shit though, bro. Y'all really got to think though. What's the current norm, and then let's extrapolate. You know what I'm saying? 20 years from now, what are our kids doing? What are our friends? What's going to be the norm for them? What are they being conditioned for now? Right now.
Social media, computers, technology.
Is marriage as important to do y'all think that marriage to our kids is going to be as important 20 years from now?
No.
So that right. And then when they look online, being a quote unquote bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? They worship Lori Harvey.
I think 20 years from now, to answer your question, Sean, I think 20 years from now, it actually will be important to our kids. I think it will. No, because things are cyclical. Things are cyclical, right? So it's going to come back. Right. It's going to correct itself. It's going to correct
itself. It gets bad, and then it reverts back to
my kids are 4 and 5. It might
20 years is going to be better.
I was going to say
it's over 18 is not done.
And determine the cycle.
Right.
Years now, the cycle will come around.
Well, we're seeing some of the baddies being married to like the Cardi B's. They're married and stuff. So that's quite strange that they're married. But
that's why I said you never know what can happen. That's why you're saying in 20 years you don't know the path of a woman.
Outliers.
You don't know
those are outliers.
Those are outliers, but let's just talk about journeys. As a woman, even if you're promiscuous or traditional, you have options as you proceed in life. You meet different people. They can teach you something, or they can take something away from you. Like they'll make you better or make you more fucked up. So depending on who they run into, could change their way or pick them out of the situation, or it might work for them. They've been hoeing and they got a man that's taking care of them and they live in a lavish life. Like it could be anything. So you don't know.
Even if
in 20 years,
and I don't know just specific, right? Anybody on here, right? Did anybody on here start having sex before they were 14?
No.
Right. I started okay, we got one person, right? I started at 14. They're starting at 11. They're starting very young. But I'm telling you, things are hypersexualized now. They have more access to more people and more things, more things to bring those thoughts into their heads. I think we had our innocence longer than them. So what we have to understand is that human development is being sped up now, based upon this being an interconnected community and there being so many things that they can be exposed to. We were relegated to the people that we came in contact with in our neighborhood, in our high school. With the flick of their thumbs, they have access to totally different things that we didn't have access to. And so things are sped up. I work with the community. I work with community programs. I deal with this all the time. At 11 years old, they're doing things.
Yeah, I
But
heard.
Sean, but the
I heard
issue
about
is
this. That's true.
the issue is
Mhm.
so as technology advances, people start to separate and people start to become less interconnected. So as technology starts to advance, as people start to get more technologically advanced, things are going to go back to the more traditional viewpoints and the more traditional mindset. Yes, right now it is that way, but 20 years going forward, think about this right now, right? This movement that the alphabet people, as you call them, you know, I won't even go there, but the people that Trigger Mike so intimately has a name for, right? That was not a thing like it is 20 years ago. That wasn't even a thing 20 years ago. Now, if you say a word about it, you are being canceled in the public opinion, and you might as well be hung on the gallows. So what I'm saying to you is that's how fast the speed things change so rapidly. And so because things are so highly hypersexual right now, in 20 years from now, they won't be the same way. I think marriage will absolutely be on the market.
I think that's a bad example, because even if
How?
it's a trend to get married, people are getting used to be alone on these computers and not mingling with each other. People get annoyed when other people are next to them. So we had the luck to have no phone, go to the streets and play with our friends and all that. These kids didn't have nothing of that. They were raised with PlayStations. They were raised with Game Boys. What do you think it will happen in 20? They will be. You see what's happening, for example, in Japan? Men want women. They kind of want them, but they were so in tune with their machines and being alone and all that even if they want to be alone, they will not stand together 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 20 years, because people, unfortunately, are annoyed that, like, men and women, even if they like each other, they are annoyed at each other. You breathe to the left, and now I'm annoyed at you.
Yeah, that's how it is now.
I'm just so thankful
20
that
years from now,
It's
20 years from now, it's going to course correct, because what's going to happen is, what's going to happen is the lack of relationships, the lack of camaraderie is going to force people to learn how to start to get along, going to force people to learn how to, and they're going to long for it. See, this is what you, listen, in one breath, you can't say that women desire that which they can't have, that which they don't have, right? And right now, hold on, let me finish. Right now, relationships are a thing that people are starving for, right? Because it's so much superficial things. It's so much things that are not connected. So eventually that is going to play out, and people are going to long to be connected again, long to have relationship. And that's why I said in 20 years it's going to reverse. We're talking about 20 years. We're talking about in the future, though.
Israel, but you
not right now.
Israel, for you to be together with someone, even if he's your brother, you need social skills. Social skills are developed day by day, being with people every single day, every single time. If you want to, like, you can want that woman. That woman is the woman of your life. You really want to be with her. If you don't have the social skills, you guys are not going to last.
You're going to develop the social skills out of necessity, though, Fatty. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Just the same way, listen, see, this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing about it, right? What we don't realize is the reason why Black people in America have got so far is because of where they came from, because they didn't have, right? So in the very beginning, Black people didn't know how to read English. So what they did was they did everything they could in a little bit of time to learn how to read. And then them learning how to read, plus the skill labor positions that they had, elevated them forward, right? And they kept progressing forward. So what happens is when you don't have something, as human beings, you are underestimating the human will. And what the human will does is the human will compensates for what it doesn't have, and it seeks to get that. And so what I'm telling you is the fact that people are so far away from each other right now, eventually they will come back. In 20 years, I bet you any amount of money, people will start getting married again. I bet
Can I just say something for
All
that?
I know is I need y'all to get off of these YouTube streets and get out in the world so y'all can teach the people around y'all to be social before it gets worse, because people look up to us, people watch us and all this other shit, right?
I'm just gonna overtalk you.
Are we outside? Are we the people we are the ones that people are looking up to and wanting to be like or whatever. Are we outside?
Yes. No, we're
we
not.
need to be outside instead of just being on YouTube all the goddamn time. So I hope that y'all, Sean is outside right now. I hope that y'all are actually outside in the world doing shit and not just on fucking YouTube all the time. Because if so, y'all are part of the damn problem while other people ain't outside.
Okay, can I just say this? I'm just listening to what Fatty said and listening to what Israel said. I'm actually going to change my whole opinion now. Yeah, what Fatty said is exactly 100% correct. You know why? Because we do not have the same social skills. Like, our kids went through a pandemic on top of it. Social distancing. It's still the world. I haven't finished. The world still hasn't adjusted from that. We've now got used to doing. People, all of you, people stop saying being on YouTube all day. You lot are all on YouTube all day. That's where your careers are. Let's just stop it. Stop. You lot have all got YouTube careers. So y'all are all on YouTube all day too.
Not me.
Number two, if the world was going the correct way, that it's going to revert back to type, it's not, because they've now created the metaverse. The metaverse is where we can have our own with the goggles on. We're not. It's not going back to being. We was shown that when we was put together, forced in a pandemic, divorce rates went sky high. UK, America,
domestic violence.
So if the world was that good and we was going to revert back to type, they wouldn't be building.
We're talking about
technology.
So that means it don't work and it won't get that bad if that's the case.
We're talking about 20 years from now. 20 years.
I will say the best we're
I
going
don't
to
think
do.
it will get worse.
The best we're going to do is a
It's gonna get
hybrid
worse.
version. It's a hybrid version of children that are seriously technologically advanced and that
But
know how to
socially
use the metaverse, because literally that's where money's going to be made, and it's not just going to be a recreational tool. That's where money's going to be made, bro. So yes, you are going to have to learn to detach, to willfully detach from it, you know, for sustenance and food and all that. They say people can actually go without a day without eating, you know, they get so lost in that stuff. But but our kids, the best we can hope for is that our kids are a hybrid version, and they're just not stuck on that. But we're never going back to that jump rope, double dutch outside type shit. We're never.
No, but not that, but marriage though.
We made sure to do outside shit. Me and my kids, we do outside shit. Like you got to make sure your kids are outside doing things, regardless of how old they are or whatever.
Even in the Matrix, people listen. Even in the Matrix, people were married.
Do you know why I've given up? Do you know why I've given up on
kids
that?
are grown, Mr. Let Go.
Do you know why I've given up on that? Let go, because there's actually monetary benefit from them being on the computer, and once somebody realizes they can make money there, it's a wrap. They're not going.
They don't need to go outside.
Listen, Trigger Mike. Even in the Matrix, the movie, people were married. Listen, y'all. Listen, evolution. Biological demand is a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing. People are going to get together no matter what. People are going to get together. People are going to get together, fam.
Yes, they're making robots that can have sex.
It doesn't matter. People are going to get together.
Damn robot, lady.
I don't know what age group you're in, Israel, but maybe you're a bit older than everybody. But like, I don't know where.
I am.
Yeah, well, that's why you're in that mind frame. We're a bit younger than you.
No, but I seen things change, and I seen things get back to the same.
Ain't nobody having sex with no damn robot. Stop.
Well, I'm just saying there are robots that are doing that in Japan. They've got those robots.
They about to be
I'm not saying that everybody's going to do it, but this
Y'all
is
are having sex with objects, but we have sex with women.
The world is evolving via technology. Like Trigger Mike says, our kids are going to be tech savvy, but they're going to be, some of them be extremely socially inept. Israel's from a different generation. You would want to think that everybody's going to live happily ever after, and everybody's going to have their white picket fence and be married with 2.5 kids.
Let me ask you a question.
Never going that way again.
Just because you said it doesn't make it true.
Do you think if I had
you're not relatable.
Shan, do you think if I had 10-year-olds, they wouldn't be outside? Do you think if I had 5-year-olds, they won't be outside?
You'll be outside, but that's like, think about how you was outside how old was you allowed when you walked to school by yourself? I was 8. I would never let
I was 11.
my 8-year-old go to school by herself.
11. And hold on. My kids was outside when they was little also. So I can only speak, but my whole point is, as adults, our jobs are to make sure our children interact with other children instead of all this inside internet bullshit. Make sure your kids are outside just like we are outside. But some of y'all niggas ain't outside now.
So,
your children are in their mid to late 20s, right?
I just said if I had a 10-year-olds, they will still be outside.
All right, hold on.
Not doing that.
One mic. So let me say this to because it actually hurts my heart that kids don't play outside anymore.
Yeah, my kids gonna be outside.
Not only do I want my kids to do that, I take them outside now, and there's nobody else out there. That was the excitement of going outside, bro. Is that everybody else was also
everybody's
outside,
out? Yeah, I agree.
Find games to play. So it's like a parent playing with their kids or your kids playing with each other. I live in a huge what is this thing called? Cul-de-sac. Ain't nobody outside when we go.
Can I ask you a quick question? Hey, so wait, where y'all live at? Where y'all live at, right? So where y'all live at? The people that live in America, are they not building schools in the neighborhoods and around the communities where y'all live?
Yeah,
are they building schools? Yes or no? Hold on. I'm asking them. Are they building schools where y'all live at?
Yes.
I'm asking y'all. I'm asking like everybody else.
Yes,
people that don't live in America answer.
Yeah, but we live in the world, Israel.
I'm asking. I understand. Wait, hold on.
Listen.
I'm asking a question for a specific reason.
I'm very offended.
That's okay. It's okay that you're offended. It's okay.
Go ahead, bro. What'd you say?
I'm just asking y'all, in y'all communities, are they building schools?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yes. Why do they keep answering? I'm asking y'all.
Why do they? Can y'all be quiet for a second? We're in America. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are they building schools where y'all at?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the point that I'm making is that if they keep building schools, guess what? Children continue to go to school, and guess what? Children interact with each other in school. So even if they don't, let me finish my point.
I'm sorry.
Even if they don't go outside, so to speak, they are interacting with each other, right? And human beings choose each other by and large. There's a biological imperative that makes human beings choose each other. No matter if I'm 100 years old and y'all are just 20 years old, that doesn't matter. That's of no consequence. It's the truth. It's the truth that people choose each other, and as long as they're building schools, as long as they're building institutions, people come together. That's my.
Let me tell you why I disagree with you, bro.
Let me tell
you. God damn, I've been trying to talk for so long.
Yeah, let Fatty go next. Sean,
that's a terrible example, and you guys are showing your age, unfortunately, right?
Let Sean go. Why Sean can't go?
Because Trigger Mike the host told me that I can go, Israel. Can I follow the host? Thank you. So
Fatty be getting excited when he get a chance to talk.
No, he's not excited. You guys are literally like trying to go ahead and overtalk the host or telling the host what to do. They tell me to talk, I will talk.
It's okay, Fatty. Calm down. It's okay. Do your thing.
Thank you very much, Miss Let's Go. Thank you very much. So one thing that you guys have to understand is that for a lot of people, either is Instagram, on PlayStation, on YouTube, for a lot of people, our virtual avatar is more important than the person that we are on a real life. A lot of people use, for example, Instagram as a way of showboat their wealth, the places that go, etc. They put more importance on the people they are on the internet, on YouTube, on PlayStation being number 2 ranked, on NBA 2K, than they do on their real life. So the reality is these kids are going to increase this with the immersion chambers and the fact that they can play 4 hours. They are going to put more emphasis into their avatar persona on the internet than they are on the real life. So no matter what they do, unless they are very good at sports or they are very wealthy and they have a really nice car and a really nice house, most of these people are going to invest a lot of their wealth, resources, and time on what we are doing right now, being on the
internet. Parents put their kids outside and say, go your ass outside. That's all I'm saying. We are the reason why our kids are either going to be successful or stupid. We are in charge of that.
That was not the point.
This is the thing, right? This what y'all keep discounting. Israel, I don't disagree with what you're saying, bro. I disagree with the fact with your timeline. Lots of things are generational. So I don't think 20 years is enough. Everything that this generation is going to do, these young kids that are 16 and below, everything that they're going to do is being embedded in them right now. And in the way they're being conditioned to be a certain way, the societal norms are different for them than they are for us. And so they're going to take those things with them into adulthood, right? Which means that generation is going to be a certain way. When you think about the baby boomers and things like that, every generation is different. 20 years is not enough time for a generational shift to happen. Now, I agree with you as it relates to maybe the generation after them, but this generation that's being groomed now to be a certain type of way, I don't think that's enough time for them to get out of this mind frame. I think they're very free. They have sex. They do lots of drugs. They do way more drugs than other people did. They pop a bunch of pills. They smoke a bunch of different types of weed. They do a lot of things that are being embedded in them. So their cultural norms are completely different than ours. I understand what you're saying. I just think the timeline is a little bit too fast.
I just think the world is moving so fast that I don't think that you can underestimate it. But hey, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be around in 20 years and we'll see what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of us really know. We're all just speculating on it. You know?
No, but you know that your kids even do classroom from home. They do homework
No, they
now.
don't. No, they don't.
Shit. I'm tired. My real voice is
on
coming out.
iPads. Most of them do it on
My
iPad.
white voice ain't even
Yeah, on
working.
iPad, iReady. My daughter does iReady on her iPad.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
Google Class.
Oh shit.
They do.
Mine doesn't. He's still in. My son is 9 and he's still in classes and he doesn't. I mean,
No, she's in class, but her homework is online on her iPad.
yeah, not yet. They
It's
still
called
have
iReady.
paper and books and all that stuff. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that's
boy.
minority, but yeah, it's not really the majority.
All right, let's get these super chats read. I'm so tired.
That your real voice is coming
My
out.
game show voice. Gone.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
My real voice came out. All right.
Oh
Milton
my
Lewis,
God.
$5. Shout out to Lady Chan, the Dragon Lady, and Fatty. Started from the bottom. Now you here. Buzz, props, my boy, or big props. My man King Spark, $10. Ain't no man got a wife that raggedy IG. Wait, gonna wife that raggedy IG boom boom. John the Baptist,
He
$10.
say boom boom.
I, as a man, pursued a beautiful traditional woman inside and out. 28 years of marriage and 2 grown adult kids. Men do
Salute
want
to you.
traditional wives without a whole face.
Facts.
Celebration. Salute to you,
On
family.
God, we do. Congo English, $10. Concur, Lady Di. Sincere married woman talking. Maestro Stevens, $10. So far, I've had LTRs with 5 through 7s. Does anybody know what that is?
Is the ranking of their attractiveness.
All right. And realize now that I'm older, their feminine or traditional attitude is what makes the look make them look like 8s or 9s.
Long-term relationship.
That's facts. John the Baptist, $5. Plain Janes are naturally beautiful, and that tends to be a sign they may be marriage materials. I'm a plain Jane lover. I'm a plain Jane lover.
Me too. Really.
They just don't wear makeup. I think men are just attracted to hoes. They're attracted to the women to put that shit on. They don't even know what they look like underneath it. That's the bad.
I like plain Jane. I like plain Jane.
Well, they should do. If you're married, you should see you without your makeup, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm saying you should see it. So there's some men who have never seen their women not made up.
Drake said it. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope you don't take it wrong. Drake said it.
Those weird ass men.
Pause, Mr. Let Go on the D talk.
That was Fatty with the D talk.
Yeah, he was. No, you were
you
saying
just
dick,
getting all
dick,
the
dick, dick, dick.
The indirect.
You even said, did you say dick to me?
What, dirty dick?
Yeah.
I was referring to women though.
Pause all the way.
Pause.
Shaq Channel 415, $2. Singing is Mr. Gonna Let It Go, Let It Go. Dorset, $2. They got way more than 50 D's, Mr. Hairline Let Go. Tayshawn, $2. They got damn, my bad.
That's good.
Check Auto LLC. I'm tired and I'm drunk. I put too much tequila in my margarita. I'm sorry if I'm slurring, y'all. $2. Let Fa'i speak. Let Jackie Chan.
Fa'i.
Sway producer, $2. Let go with the Mr. Miyagi head polish, wax on, wax off.
Hold on, y'all laughing a little too loud. Y'all laughing a little too loud.
Funny. That shit funny.
It ain't that funny.
Our friend over here, security boss, $10. Traditional women are winning. They are behind
They
the
are
scenes.
winning.
John the Baptist, $2. Trigger Mike, we need that 304 registration. Rex Gardner, foreign currency. Also, men put expectations on women that they themselves don't follow. If man sleeps around, awesome. Women does, she's bad. You goddamn right. Fuck you
You're
talking
right about that. You better know it.
Rex Gardner again. Society is built on two incomes coming into the house, no longer traditional life. Expectation of men paying for everything is obsolete.
When you
That's
need
why I
that,
put that chart up earlier. I put that chart up earlier. Chicago, $10. Sean, your answer clearly shows that you do not prioritize marriage to your daughter. You don't care what your daughter do or who is going to be in her life in the future. You want to respond? Salute, Israel.
What?
That's
Salute.
That's a
Salute, family.
I don't even know what that would even be based on. That's very weird. I'm talking about my daughter, my nigga. I'm just talking
It's
about
the Mickey D's, bro. You fool. You tired. That's what it
Hey,
is. You
salute,
didn't-
brother. You eating Mickey? You still eat Mickey D's, fam?
Hey, that
Why
shit
you
be hitting.
posted out in front of a McDonald's like
You
1 o'clock?
still be
in the
eating Mickey
The
D's,
oatmeal,
fam?
the fries and the oatmeal be hitting. And the
Bro,
the
don't do
cone,
it. It ain't
vanilla
no good.
cone.
But don't do
gotta
it.
carry stuff when I get out the car, and I ain't want to do that on camera.
Oh, I got you.
I live down the street. Yeah.
All right, John the Baptist, $2. I pray Jesus come back in 20 years.
He might, fam. He might.
$5. Meta in Hebrew means dead, operating on dead frequency. Y'all ain't ready for that convo though.
Woo!
That's deep. Big Ant, $10. Appreciate that. Let go according to your short arms and shoulders lengths. You 5'7" tops with good
That's
shoes on.
crazy.
Nope, not looking up to you, shorty.
That's crazy.
All CNI, $5. People are gonna get back together. Will and the dollar losing value is all upon us. Chan, relax with all the tired of the wannabe Kayla stuff. Oh, okay.
Just want to be. I'm just
Hey,
being.
listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all might be on to something.
I'm telling you,
AI
'cause
and the dollar losing value will push women back.
exactly, it is. I'm trying to tell you, fam. Watch, I'm gonna be right. Y'all gonna come back to me and be like, "Yo, damn, Israel's a prophet. He was right." I'm telling you, what's gonna happen.
I'm still every night. I play around with like Chat GPT and the shit it can do. Oh my god! Like, just go get a labor job.
Yeah,
that shit can do everything.
Yeah, it's gonna make you obsolete.
I play around with women and see what they can do while you play around with Chat GPT. Just want to say that.
All right, but only one of us is gonna get rich off it. I'm saying. I love it when you call me Big Papa Smurf.
We got to get outside and stop playing around with all this bullshit. Like,
It ain't gonna
I know
happen.
you married. I know you
Let
married.
it
but
go.
still,
Let
we
go.
gotta
Let
get
it go.
outside.
They're not going outside, bro. It's too late, Chan. We'll do it next Thursday. Your boyfriend. All right, let me just make sure there are no more super chats. That came through. All right. Oh, there are some. Let me
Chat GPT is the devil.
It might be.
It might be, but
it might be. I ain't gonna lie.
already
Yeah, like
been-
leave that shit
it's been
alone and go out and be
popularized
around
in
some damn people, y'all. Chat GPT with people. Fuck that shit.
Trigger Mike
That's gonna
Flores.
be hard,
Tequila.
but
Yep. Jay, $5. Fatty, you're finally on a panel with Carol Ball. Shoot your shot. Oh, snap. I want to see this live. Let's go.
Bars.
Let's go. I want.
All right, we're gonna sit back. Go, Fatty.
Fatty, you was looking for Carol. Fatty.
Fatty.
Fatty, you was looking for her.
I want to see what kind of game Fatty has. Go,
Fatty
Fatty.
got no game. You're not looking for much.
I only-
Fatty got no game.
Fatty don't look like he got no game.
Fatty
gotta-
got zero game.
Keep
Oh,
going.
Go, Fatty.
Keep going, guys. Keep going. Keep going.
$5.
Come on,
Salute
Fatty.
to Mike, let go Israel. They forget the children will grow. We are raising parents, not kids.
No
All right,
doubt.
that's
Salute
true.
to you, family.
I
How you
hope
doing,
so,
man?
I hope so. I'm just trying to make an accurate discernment. That's dope. Carol,
Fatty
you
look like
kinda-
he be in his
Carol,
in
you
his.
kind of popular out here. I don't. You got anything
No,
to say?
I'm
Are you in search for a
No.
A fatty?
over 6 foot dude with a good hairline, Portuguese?
Well, it's kind of like the Dr. Umar hairline right about now, so it's not that good.
Exactly, very similar.
It's not that good. It's approaching Umar levels. He's saluting like this.
With all due respect, but nobody on this panel can talk about airlines with me. Nobody.
I got my headline is better than yours, fam.
Nobody.
I just got a hat on.
Let's leave it alone for now. Nobody. Hey, Israel.
But Fatty,
Fatty. I don't want the fatty files. I don't want the fatty files. I don't want no fatty files. No fatty files on me, man. No fatty files.
No, I want to know Carol Balls, Fatty. Don't get out the subject. What's up with you and Carol Balls? What's up?
I only date sex dolls.
Fatty, look like she got a fatty.
I only date sex dolls. What's your point? Are you a sex doll? No, right? She moves and all. I only date sex dolls. I won't cheat on my sex doll. Why?
You don't like women? Like you said, you don't like.
I like.
You like sex dolls and not women?
No.
Hey, Carol Balls, just an endorsement.
I'm retired.
Fatty's next up, so I think you should.
I'm retired.
You don't like humans? You like what are you talking about?
He's being modest, but he next up. I think you should,
How that Fatty Carol Balls?
Say this again.
Shoot your shot, Carol Balls. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think Fatty goes outside though. I think he sits in front of the computer like 24/7.
You know what? She lives in Miami. They don't do that.
Yeah, Fatty.
How many yacht parties you been on this week?
Oh my God, every weekend.
Look at Fatty. It looks like he be playing Call of Duty all night.
Damn.
Yo,
is that the Fresh and Fit building?
My two roommates after college from Miami, they do it a little too large out there.
You think so?
That's a nice view.
Larger than New York.
Nice view.
Everybody's scamming.
New York does
Everybody's
it
scamming out there.
Yeah,
I knew a dude that lived in his Lamborghini.
Carol, we coming. I mean,
he lives in his Lamborghini.
I knew a dude that lived in his Lamborghini.
Yo, that's a tight spot.
For nothing
he
else.
lived in a Lamborghini.
He lives in a
Had
Lamborghini.
No house, had
Yo,
no
that's
apartment.
not the type of place you want to live.
Apartment.
That's cramped.
What do you call it? A storage space where he kept his clothes.
Oh no!
He would go to a girl house to shower every day.
That's crazy,
bro. The way they live out there.
Talk about living on the edge.
That's bizarre. That's bizarre for real. That makes no sense.
All right, man. I think that's it for the show, man. Thanks everybody for coming out. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. This was a dope ass show. I appreciate everybody. And let me get Mr. Let Go's brand up here, man. He got a new game, Deeper Discussions. Y'all go back up in the chat and get the discount code. Mods, if you could drop that discount code one more time, I believe it is Lapeef15. Get this Deeper Discussions game. We got to support our own. This is going to be dope. I'm definitely going to grab it myself. This is going to be dope.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does it come with toilet paper so we can use shitty ideas? So we can get rid of.
Yo, you got petty Patty, man. Petty.
Should be with toilet paper. I'm telling you.
Patty, why you hating, man? Get your
you get killing.
Fatty, you get a card game. We just ain't gonna be able to read it.
AKA Mr. Cheeks.
Hey yo,
Fatty lives in the friend zone. I don't know what that means.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Fatty looks like he's a friend zone dude. He don't get no women.
Yeah,
hey yo, salute to the panel. Thank you, Trigger Mike, for having me. Hey yo, salute to the panel. Thank you, Trigger Mike, for having me. Salute to the chat. Peace.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere yet. When everybody else goes, I'm just getting mine in early.
Hanley, thank everybody for coming out. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe and join the channel if you have not. I will be on in the morning. I believe my topic is, hold on, let me get that for you. I just sent that shit through. I forgot to do it. JR is probably pissed. Single or married, which is better? That is the topic for tomorrow on Trigger Mike Fridays. That's going to be lit. Make sure y'all come through to chop it up with me. All right, y'all. I appreciate, man. This was one hell of a show. Y'all are dope.
Buy you a car game. It'll help you get a woman.
And we'll see y'all next time. We out, y'all. Peace.
Bye.